Oh, we are live, guys. Okay. It's been a while since I've covered any royal news. This royal news I had to cover. I'm going to go ahead and check my audio. Okay, my audio is good. I do have multiple mics, you all. I'm in the process of getting that all set up and sorted out. And so when I have a chance to hook it up and get it all sorted out, I will. I'm seething because I saw something trending about a book to do with Megan, and I really tried so hard to like ignore it, right? I saw it all over the place. I saw it all over the place. And I was like, "Dear God, please." I'm like actually begging, like I was begging God, right? That this would not be what I think it is. And it turns out, you guys, that this is exactly, right, what I was fearing. So, they based upon all the YouTube videos and things like that that kept popping up, they were alluding that there was some kind of book. I've seen this guy who looks like, I'm not going to say what I think he looks like, who is in connection to Meghan Markle. And in the back of my mind, I'm like, "Oh my god, this guy was so close to Meghan, especially when she was a part of the royal family serving as a senior royal," right? So when I saw his face, I automatically cringed because when she was with Harry working a part of the royal family, I never liked him. I never liked his spirit. I never liked his look, what he represents. I Everything about him just screamed fake to me. And like he's a puppet for Meghan, like he's like a mouthpiece for Meghan Markle, right? So when I saw his face again popping up, going to TV shows and all this, I said, "Oh hell no. Not this guy. Not this again. Not this again." Like surely, I've taken a hiatus, if you will, or I have just basically been trying to ignore everything to do with Meghan and Harry for the longest because I actually have a life and I've already exposed their ass and I've already done pretty much tons of coverage. Anybody who knows me and has known what I have uncovered over the years, covering the royal family, covering Queen Elizabeth II's death, covering everything to do from the beginning of the engagement with Harry and Meghan to even now. Her real name is Rachel, right? Her stage name is Meghan Markle, but her real name is Rachel. I have covered it. So anybody coming to my channel brand new, look around, okay, and get your facts straight because I have literally covered this from the jump. So this doesn't surprise me. It just enrages me because it's just like this is still carrying on, you know. And before I get into the juiciness and the details and the logistics, if I can even speak right, because I'm so angry of this BS garbage that keeps coming up with Meghan and Harry. I'm so sick of it. And I'm going to try my hardest, you all, to censor appropriately what I really want to say. Because what I really would say and what I really want to say, I've already said behind closed doors, off camera, right? But I just like seconds ago realized this and I'm like, okay, like this is like now I'm pissed all over again. I cannot believe that they're still carrying this pitiful, full of lies story. Like I actually cannot believe that they have still managed to try to milk this and make money off this, and especially here in America, try to get Americans to believe this whole race thing. I'm beyond disgusted. I'm angered. I'm enraged. I'm upset, especially for Catherine. King Charles, to be specific, has had his day. And yes, he is the king, whether I like it, you like it, whether anybody likes it. Charles is the king, right? And honestly, he needs to use his authority. Strip the titles, take it all away. Like, I don't know how many times I have to come in here and say this. take everything away, bruh. Take every when I say everything, when I say everything, I mean everything. Take it away. Now that Charles and his side piece, which is Kamala, I can never say her goddamn name right, who's upgraded to the queen in his eyes, which I don't support her because of what happened with Diana, but she's still the queen consort on paper. So with that, I'll give her respect. But my personal feelings on Camilla, I will not go deeper because what is already, well, how should I say this nicely? What is already known and shown to the public doesn't need to be over exacerbated and overly explained. We all know that Charles was cheating with Camilla. I can never say her name right, guys. Maybe because I don't like her, maybe because I don't like how they treated her with Diana. I don't know. Kamala Harris, which is our vice president in America, you know, the leader of the free world, Kamala Harris, I can say her name no problem. When it comes to Kamala, I don't something about that lady, I can't say her name. Like my spirit will not let me say her name. So that chick, I don't know what's up with her. But nevertheless, okay, King Charles's wife was a side piece for many years, a mistress as well. Okay, that's what she is. That's what she was and still is. And she's upgraded, okay, through marriage and through the passing of his mother, Queen Elizabeth II. She's upgraded to the queen consort, which is technically the queen, which majority of us don't like it, right? But that is her title, okay? A queen. And I'm saying before the whole world on camera exactly how I feel. They need to use their power. No more playing nice. Like this, guys, you have to understand. The fact, let me check my audio, make sure. The fact, the simple fact that this has carried on for this long is making my blood boil because it's garbage, guys. It's garbage. Okay. And there's so many things I want to say. My mind is like, I'm trying to like have it in a, all my thoughts because I don't want this video to be an hour. And y'all know that know me and know my channel. This could easily be an hour. Y'all know, don't lie. This could easily be an hour live stream. But I got ish to do. I got a lot of ish to do. So I cannot be on here for an hour. So we're gonna have to squish this into 30 minutes or 45 tops. Okay. Whew. And I'm not lying. And for those who don't know, I'm born and British bred proudly. For those who are brand new, gather along, get your tea and crumpets. I'm actually British. Yes, that's correct. I'm a naturalized American citizen. So I've lived in England, I've lived in America. I'm currently in America, right? Not by choice. I was brought over here when I was like 7 years old. Okay. I got family all over the place. And I'm pissed because Charles, oh my God, guys, like Charles has given them so much money, so much passes. I'm not saying that I even want Charles to be king. Get it right, get it correct. I'm not saying that. Okay. What I'm saying is that the facts are the facts. The facts is that Charles is king and Camilla is the queen, whatever, queen consort, throw a dog a bone, right? Throw the dog a bone. I'm telling you, they need to use their authority. Time is up, playtime is over. This fake baloney, garbage, trash dumpster story has been circulating for eons. Literally eons, y'all. And I cannot I'm so angry because it's like the audacity. The audacity. And I got 2 water bottles because just in case we run the green screen. Is it gonna show? Is it gonna show, guys? I got 2 water bottles, okay? Because I know how I am, right? And I just got the courage to click on this BS and the f the guys, it's God alone. I'll tell you right now, it's God alone. It's God alone, that's having me pace what I'm saying. Because what I really wanna say, what I really would wanna say, I cannot say. I already said to my mom, okay, I already told her what needs to happen to Meghan and Harry. I'm done. Like, I don't care about them at all. At all. And for every single American out here that is eating this up, because Thanksgiving already passed, y'all. Thanksgiving's gone. Okay. But all you Americans out here and maybe Australians and everybody else out here, okay, that is eating up this garbage, y'all getting played. I'm sorry. Y'all are getting played. And the mayor, my Chanel brush, your girl got coin. Um, the mayor of New York, Whoopi Goldberg, and Whoopi Goldberg of late has not always not been on point. You know what I'm saying? With some of her point of view, she used to be really on point. She's a Scorpio like me. I'm a Scorpio Libra cusp. I'm a first day of Scorpio. Okay, so I'm very balanced in my approach. I can sniff bullshit from a mile away. You see what I'm saying? And even Whoopi Goldberg said with the previous story that happened earlier, either last year or this year, time is going by so quick I can't even keep up with the whole, paparazzi chase that never flipping happened. Okay, that never happened. That never happened. And oh my God, guys, the mayor of New York. Are you guys getting what is happening right now? The mayor of New York, right, came out and even had to shut it all down. You see what I'm saying? The mayor of New York had to literally come out in a press conference and say, that never happened. It's not possible. What Meghan and Harry are alleging happened is not possible. It's not possible, guys. And even after they've called out the hypocrisy, the ludicrous, the garbage, they're still at it. When will this freakish couple from hell go to hell and go away? What is it going to take? Like, I'm trying not to go there, guys. I'm trying hard, man. It's hard. I can't be no nicer than this. Y'all know it's true. I can't be no nicer than this. I can't do it. I can't, guys. I can't. Okay. When are they gonna go away? What is it gonna take? You have, oh Jesus. You have the mayor of New York, an American black man, even have to walk out to the whole world and say, that's a lie. They're lying on my state. That never happened. I don't know what taxi they pulled up in. I don't know what event they popped up at, but that story right there, that never happened. The driver denied it. The mayor denied it. Hell, Whoopi Goldberg denied it. Damn near everybody that's credible denied it and said, for the streets of New York, it's not possible. Are you guys so anybody who has been out of the loop about this fraudulent couple needs to get in the loop because they have a track record of lying, bro. Like, they have a strong track record of lying for money. Now, I'm gonna take it there. I'm sorry, I have to, because one of the videos, which I'll link, actually, I'm not gonna link it because people are evil and spiteful. I had a YouTube short that went viral, of course, because everything I touch turns to magic. Am I surprised? No. I know what I'm saying. Um, and in the words of Beyonce, who's in my home country, in my home city, London, England, hello, represent, who's actually in England right now. In the words of Beyonce, I have nothing left to prove. While I'm on live, let's just settle the score. I got nothing to prove. I have been on these YouTube streets back and forth, sideways and upways and down, zigzag. I've I've achieved more than I ever would ever think I would ever achieve. And I'm still achieving. For all the haters out here, I'm still achieving with little to no effort. Just putting it out here. Just putting it out here. So I had a YouTube short that crossed over, you heard this correct, 500,000 views. Do your research. I had a YouTube short cross over 500,000 views. Now, I know for a fact YouTube is playing with my stuff. I digress. I'll just put it like that. I'll just put it right like that. Okay? 500,000 views. Me. I put together the evidence with my own commentary. 500,000 views. So for anything out here, I am the source, honey. I am that chick. Okay? I am that girl. I'm just gonna put it right like that. Okay. So I'm gonna revert back to the video that went viral. That's still up on my page for all you haters. I'm gonna use my own clip as a reference. Tyler Perry, Oprah Winfrey, they've all turned their back. So cut. Listen. Someone needs to stop this couple. Someone needs to stop this couple. Tyler Perry, ring a ding ding. Oprah Winfrey, ring a ding ding. Y'all need to hire me in this bitch. Cause I bring the views, honey. I bring the star power. Not that I even want it. I don't even want fame like that. I don't even want attention like that. I love to just be real shit. And people in my life that crave that kind of stuff, I stay, bye, see ya. Because I know what that life brings. That's why I can't understand the likes of Meghan Markle and Harry, because they crave that ish. They're addicts. They're attention seekers. They're addicts. I'm gonna get real deep in this video. I'm sorry. I have to, guys. I'm pissed. I have to. I'm sorry. But they asked. I'm sorry. Meghan and Harry have asked for this ass whooping because y'all have carried on for so long with the nonsense. It's actually ridiculous. Like, how do people actually believe this couple, bro? I don't understand. There's been black comedians, black stand-up comedians, white stand-up comedians. Dang near the whole world sees what Meghan is, bruh. Like the real people that are not clones and bots and weirdos and NPCs, they see what's going on. You know what I'm saying? They see what's going on. But the people that are asleep at the wheel and just buy as soon as they see the word black or race, or they can't take the truth. What about Meghan Markle says black to you? I'm just, besides her being from Compton, whatever, in that sense, what about Meghan Markle is anything about black empowerment or being a black woman? I can't find it. I can't find it. And quite frankly, I'm insulted. That fake ass beige bitch. Oh Jesus! I'm trying hard, y'all. I'm trying. I can't. I'm too real for YouTube, y'all. Someone give me a show. Oprah, call me. Cause I'm gonna tell you what I really feel. You see what I'm saying? I'm gonna tell y'all the truth. I'm sick of this bitch. I've been sick of her. She don't represent me and never fucking will. You understand what I'm saying? So when there's black so-called black women who are troping their colors for this bitch, I want to throw up because she's a fakest of the fake of the fake. And if you think that this, in the words of Beyonce again, fluorescent beige bitch represents any of us, you're highly delusional. And her mom, if anything, looks real black to me, and she don't look a pinch of her mama. I'm sorry. Uh, you know, it's like that chick don't look like a pinch of what her mama looked like, and that's a black woman. That's a thoroughbred. You hear what I'm saying? Michelle Obama tease. Hmm. That chick ain't that. Meghan Markle ain't never been no damn Michelle Obama. Don't insult me now. Don't insult us. Don't insult us like that. That chick could never be Michelle Obama. Are you crazy? Ty, oh, Megan gonna run for president. Run, which country? The country of gold diggers? The country of the fluorescent beige cunts? What country she gonna run? Cause she not gonna run this country, and I'm not gonna vote for her ass. And nobody with a brain gonna vote for Meghan Markle be no damn president. Y'all have lost. Y'all must be on crack. Who the hell gonna vote for that bitch? Not me. Lord have mercy. Lord have mercy. But I digress because she will never be that. And you know what? You know what? I'm gonna go in because I'm really tired of them. And I listen, I've been a good girl. I've been trying to ignore them. But when it gets like this, when it gets like this, I gotta tell y'all what I think. Like genuinely. I can't stand them. I you know, I tried to give them a chance, when they do things that I think are kind of right and productive to society, I'll clap for them. But when Megan, well, oh, hey, let me take it back because now I'm finna get heated. Jesus. When the Queen, the Queen, Elizabeth II, was alive, Meghan and Harry treated the Queen like trash, bruh. Like, come on. And then you got these fake people up on Twitter, and I block them. I'm telling y'all right now, I block every one of them. Okay, there's a lot of these accounts on Twitter that are fandoms of this fake wannabe princess, and I'm sorry, I block them. Can I tell y'all the truth? Before I would let it slide. Yes, I tried, guys. I'm gonna tell you the truth. Before I tried so hard, guys, to let it slide. But the gravity of the delusion was too high. And I had to say, you know what? I can't even let them just talk like that because they're crazy. They're stone cold crazy. And they're not seeing the reality of this chick. And her basket of tricks. They're not seeing the reality of this couple. Forget Megan, this couple, what they represent. They're not seeing what they really are. So I'm sorry, I cannot even let you speak this garbage anymore because it's been absolutely treacherous, right? I could hardly stomach the wedding, which I have nothing against interracial couples. Hell, I've been in a couple. I don't even use that title, but I have nothing against that. Okay. So anybody saying, oh, I don't care what color they are together. I don't, that's something to do with it. Harry, Harry has always been rebellious. Harry has always been a freak. Yeah, I'm gonna say it. Okay. Harry has never been desirable to who I have no idea who would think he's hot. Maybe y'all need to get your eyes checked. Okay. Never been a Brad Pitt on the street. Never in life. Never in life. And I remember back many moons ago when I had my chat open, when YouTube wasn't so crazy and ridiculous and censored, I would have the chat open, and I remember having banter with y'all, and y'all would tell me that Meghan wouldn't even marry him if he worked at McDonald's. This was agreed upon at a wide consensus that Meghan would never marry Harry if he worked at McDonald's. So what does that tell you? What does that tell you? She's not marrying for love. She's not marrying because this guy is a catch. Harry is screwed up, guys. Harry is a loser. Sorry, the truth hurts. He's a loser. End of story. And Megan's a loser too. They're both losers. Okay? So let us, if I can even collect, because listen, I have tried very hard. Like I said, I have tried so hard to ignore this fake couple. I've tried, guys. Believe me. So for those of you who used to enjoy and still enjoy my royal readings and royal commentary, um, I stepped off the gas pedal because this couple is trash. I, and after everything after the exposing's already been exposed, you know what I'm saying? Oprah already stepped. I mean, everybody in Hollywood can see the trash they are. So once that was already like well established, I'm like, well, what is there to talk about? You know what I'm saying? Like, why would I'm not gonna even try to put more spotlight on their name because I think that they're wrong. They're completely wrong. Every situation that they've tried to handle has been wrong. And that's my opinion. Okay. Now, if you believe the lies and you want to pull the race card and you want to fall that trumpet, go ahead. But guess what? I'm not going to meet you there, right? It's garbage. And what happened to the mystique? What happened to, and not just the royal family, but what happened to celebrities that have some kind of class? You know, Harry and Meghan, they couldn't even spell class, honestly. That's how far removed they are from that. Okay. They're not the kind of people I would consider classy. Not even by a mile. So spare me, okay? Like Harry is a spare, right? Like like the book he wrote, Spare. Yeah, he's a spare. He knows what he is. He's a spare tire, right? I mean, if that's how you see yourself, I'm not surprised why she treats you like that. You know what I'm saying? I'm not surprised that Meghan bosses you around because you're weak, Harry. You're weak. You know, you're hypnotized, and we're all waiting for you to wake up, and you just don't seem to wake up. And it's like, you know what? To hell with you guys. I'm sorry. To hell with you. You know, I really need them to go away because 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 their whole claim to fame is riding the coattails of the royal family. Okay, that's their whole thing. Is how can I trash this other relative to make money in a book, in an interview, and this and that, in a podcast that flopped. Okay, that's what it's all about. So why in the hell would I support that? I don't. I won't. I never will. And so, yes, to every single person who stood up to the likes of Harry and Meghan and lost their job or got blackmailed, that's a huge shame because they were actually telling the truth. And what did Meghan do? She used a race card. A woman who looks hardly even a 1% black used the race card. How ironic. And you know what's even sad? You know what's actually really sad about it is she got away with it, guys. She fire Sharon Osbourne. She fired Piers Morgan. She pushed all these people out. Not just if it's not fire, if it's not fire in specific. She went to all these TV networks and stuff on behalf of Harry, trying to blackmail these people. You know, push them out because they were shining too much truth on her. The truth hurts, guys. They were telling too much of the truth. And Megan doing what she does, what a narcissist does best, she pulled the race card. And what sickens me is that there's actually people who actually can pull the race card that actually should, because they actually are marginalized and are experiencing horrible conditions. But Megan's not one of them. Okay. And let me just make this very clear. People that want to, ride Megan's coattails, they absolutely love to come back on social media and say, oh, well, they called her child a monkey. Okay, who is they? Because that's not the royal family. There was a journalist or a podcaster or whatever who spoke his mind, which was obviously an ignorant comment. And that one part, and he got fired, by the way. This guy had nothing to do with the royal family. He got fired from his job, rightfully so. And they take that one little, fall from grace of an ignorant person, and they say, oh, it's the royal family who called their child a monkey. Get the hell out of here, okay? Get, like, Satan, get thee beneath me. Get thee behind me. You're lying. And they keep lying. And what I think is so unfair, and Megan, it's your fault. I gotta say this. Nothing makes me feel more disgusted, right? When people are actually oppressed and people are actually experiencing discrimination, and they're not able to get a fair case or even go to court or anything like that to ease their pain of being assaulted, right? But the likes of Meghan Markle, who's been got a free ride all her life off her white daddy, her white daddy, is pulling the race card, bruh. Like, you can't make this up. And this is why, and you know what? Perhaps this is why some people are against, the mixing, because she can't see her privilege, and it's weird, it's weird. And this is the same kooky chick, fake chick, who claimed that up until she dated Prince Harry, she never knew what being a black woman felt like. Y'all that are troping for Meghan, y'all need to clean out your ears and hear this. What I'm saying now. Go back and watch her shitty Netflix documentary with Harry. The receipts are all there. And it's in the papers. It's in writing. It's documented. Meghan said that not until she dated Harry did she ever feel like a black woman. That is all you need to know. If you've only in your life, to her knowledge, experienced what being a black woman is like when she dated a prince, she's fucking delusional. Okay? She's delusional. So she don't speak for me. She don't speak for anybody intelligent, and she damn sure don't speak for the British public or black women. Okay? She don't speak for me. I've never, I listen, I'm gonna take it all the way back now. When the photos dropped, when she was with those dark denim boots and the beanie. Remember when that was the first photos dropped of her on the date with Harry, and there was rumors of the time swirling that they were going to get engaged. And then William, there's all these rumors that William and Kate were trying to figure out who she was, and Harry was getting, offended like he always does, because he's messed up in the head. And the news came out that, oh, they were going to get engaged, all this blase BS. I have proof on my own channel that I was one of the people that came on here and said, oh, it's a nice change. Now, the facts are the facts. I still, to this day, November 30th, 5:23 p.m., 2023, on a Thursday, I still have not seen a Suits episode. Not one. I never knew what Suits were, never heard of it, didn't even know about Meghan. And people who want to eat Meghan Markle's dingleberries don't want to accept that. They don't want to accept that Meghan was a nobody. I don't know why they don't want to accept that. I mean, I don't know. Okay. At least with Catherine, she was a part of a certain class. You know what I'm saying? And she was an English Rose. Meghan, who's Meghan? Who's that? I had no idea, guys. Okay. So all you Meghan Markle people that just are obsessed with her, choke. Okay. Because I didn't know nothing about Suits, and I still don't. I don't care either. I don't care either. because I don't watch D-list TV shows. To me, to my standard, okay? It's irrelevant. And so when I saw all that going down with Harry writing a whole letter, when they first got engaged, I was like, this is trouble. You know what I'm saying? And it was truth be told, guys, it wasn't even 2 days after the engagement news dropped. It wasn't even 2 days after I was on here. I have a video it's still on my channel of me saying, "Wow, a woman of ethnicity, a different ethnicity, whatever the heck what term I used." I didn't know what the hell she was really, because she didn't look black to me. Um, and I was trying to support it, bro. I really was. And then I found that she was a divorcee. And then I found out that she likes to hopscotch between California, Canada, and America. And that was weird to me. And then I found out that she had a checker relationship with her family, and and then I found that she gave her engagement ring back to her other chef husband, or she had different how many husbands she had, who knows. Um, the husband that was a chef or something like that, who now the Trevor, I think his name is Trevor, he got remarried. Don't care, don't know. And she sent back the ring in the post, right, to her ex. Red flags are everywhere at this point, guys. Like, the red flags were blazing. Like they say, the bleeps are blazing. I mean, the red flags were just staring in my face. Okay. And when I realized that and I saw that, I said, huh, well, this doesn't seem quite right. The royal family shouldn't allow this. That's really what I thought to myself. I was like, the royal family shouldn't allow this. And that brings me to this point that I've been wanting to say from the very beginning of the video. If the royal family was racist, they would never allow Harry to marry her. Okay. They were not. When the queen was alive, she let that happen, which really should never happen. We know it's true. Okay. Now back to the current timeline I'm talking about. I At that point, I said, you know what? When I was starting to get bad vibes from her, and she was doing all these like fake, when you look up to the guy, like, it's like, Cinderella and Prince Charming, and you do these little fake little photo op smiles. Once I saw that she was acting like, I mean, not acting, I mean, she's an actress, but acting fake. I said, something not right here. The buttermilk is not quite clean for me. She's not passing any of the everything, 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 including Camilla, right? Everything. When I say everything, I mean everything. Everything that a queen should be, a princess should be, she was none of those things. If no one's gonna say it, I'll say it. Okay. Meghan Markle was zero of those things. A big zero. To me, a black woman. No, she did not pass the test. Okay. She did not pass the test at all. So once I was catching on to her tricks, I said, let me do a reading on this bitch. And at that point, I'm being honest. I could swear on a Bible. I could swear on a Bible before God. At that point, I had no opinion. I had no, I had a weird feeling about her. The way he was defending her against the press, just being the press, was strange to me. And I said, this guy's loony. This guy's off his nuts, his rocker. He's gonna do something weird with this chick. Okay. That was very early. My intuition said to me, this guy is jacked up, and he's gonna bring this American divorcee into this family and mess it up. Yes, guys, this is really my thoughts. Okay. And I think even before the engagement, right on the cusp of it. And within that span, I said, you know what? And I don't even know how many subscribers do I even have at the time. Maybe like 25 or 20,000. I'm not even sure. Honestly, I don't even count my subscribers like that. If I had my choice, I would keep my subscriptions hidden, which I did for years until YouTube took the feature away. Because I'm not even about that. I'm not about all that stuff, because I know what it comes with and I don't like it. So for fun, for ish and giggles, I said, you know what? I know how to edit. I know how to, when I say edit, I mean, I know how to make a clip art, which is like the clip art of the video. Like, I know how to make something look presentable, like right here. I know how to make things look nice. I do. So I said, okay, I'm gonna do a reading because I want to see what's happening with this couple. Like it was genuine, pure. I had no bias, none. Before God, I can swear in a Bible. I just wanted to know the truth. I wanted to know, what is this about, because I could see this going in the wrong direction. From very early on, I could tell this was going to be bad news. And it was not going to last. No chance in hell. No, unless they're living in separate houses and they both got different partners and they're swingers, which and they're a lot going on there. Okay, and they're just basically faking it, living in separate houses. Then I just it's not authentic. Is what I'm trying to say. There's a lot of hidden innuendos with this couple, a lot of hidden agendas, absolutely. So I said, I'm going to do a reading, and the reading blew up. And I was one of the first readers, intuitive readers on the internet, to cover the couple the way I did. And of course, people followed suit even to this day, and they launch channels based upon Meghan and Harry because of what a lot of OGs on Twitter, like I was one of the OGs, did. And people copied the recipe and said, "Oh, I'm going to pull cards too." But it was the OGs, and people know who the OGs were, that actually covered this couple with all the controversy when people were, blinded by the lights. I was on here telling the truth, right? When people were sniffing up Megan's behind, I was one of the people on YouTube that said, "Nah, this is not going to work." Okay, and this is bad. This is all bad. And so I after that the first reading, which I think was titled Meghan and Harry Love Reading, or pre-wedding love reading, something like that. I was shocked. I was genuinely shocked. I was disgusted. And I said to myself, this is not going to go well. This is not going to be good. And I don't even know what to say at this point, because my God, after what happened to Diana with Charles, you would think that the royal family would know how to pick them. You know what I'm saying? Like, you would hope. Wouldn't you hope that after the tragedy of Diana, that anybody who's in the royal courts, or even the freaking queen, would know how to pick the right people to marry into the family? Like, you would hope, but because of the race, I'm gonna say it, because of the race element, I think the queen, the family, and the royal courts, and the whole nine, was tricked. The family, Harry's family, was tricked, because they knew that if the queen and whoever else, didn't like her, or didn't let him marry her, they were going to say that they're racist. So let's be real, Harry, not because you're not a prince, and you need to lose that title too. Forget the Diana that gave, sadly, that gave birth to your sorry ass. You shouldn't have a title. But you know, Harry was playing this dangerous game from the beginning. Harry was trying to bring the family down from the beginning. And now I'm confident, and I'm sorry, guys, I can confidently say that to this day. Today, I can confidently say that, because how in the hell could you even consider a divorcee as a future queen? Because here's the thing, guys. If the chain of command, right? The royal family tree, if something was to happen to the people in line, it would fall. I mean, it's not going to happen. We knock on wood. We hope and pray, because my God, we be in trouble. But God forbid, if it came down to it, Harry would have to be king. We know that's true, unless Charles gets some balls and kicks him out for real, and strips him completely, which I think should happen. I mean, the British people should really just rally and get them out of there for real. Can you imagine Harry and Meghan as king and queen? Our country would be invaded. We'd be doomed. So you have to understand that the game that Harry was playing against his own family from the beginning was so dangerous. And it's like, how could you not even think about policy? How could you not even think about relations with other countries? Like, everybody understands, and it's not anything to do. And contrary to people who are not educated, like a lot of Americans, unfortunately, don't know much about the royal family because they're not from that kind of lineage and they're not even in that kind of society or country where they have kings and queens. So I'll give them a pass, but it's no excuse. Like, you know, they fall for this. You know, a lot, not a lot of them, thankfully, but a good majority have fallen for these lies, you know? And they have to think about it on a deeper international and domestic level. So here's, I mean, I can go so deep with this. Crossing 4 or 5 minutes right now. Ready to cross 40 minutes, guys. I told you. How could you marry somebody who's so corrupt? You know, like how could you marry somebody who's so corrupt and doesn't represent nothing to do with what we actually want? Like, how could you do that? Like even me, if I mean, I can never be as dumb as Harry, but you know, like if you're royalty, like get it through your thick skull, Harry. If you're royalty, you don't marry a Meghan Markle. I'm sorry, like you just don't do it. I don't care how much you love the person. Like there's more at stake than your what's in your pants, bruh. You know, there's more at stake than your hormones because we all know Harry can't do no better than Meghan. We all know that. You know, that's how he and if it's not true, that's how he behaves. He behaves. Harry, Harry behaves like he can't get no better than Meghan. So when you act like that, well, this is what you get. You get a chick who's gonna use you, dump you, use you again, dump you again, threaten you, give you ultimatums. I mean, you've lost respect. You're gonna lose all as a man. You're not really a man because you're getting pushed around by your girl. Like that's not a real man to me. You know, if a woman can push you around and make you cry in a corner, you're not a real man. Like a man, men don't listen to a woman bitching about nonsense, you know? And Harry is just like cowering down at everything Meghan says. So I don't respect him. No, why would I respect a man like that? I don't respect him. I don't respect him. And guess what? Meghan don't respect him either because a woman that loves you would never trash your family. So I'm sorry. I mean, on Queen Elizabeth's soul, and this pains me. This is paining my heart for real. The queen, if the queen could see what they're doing, my God, like that was a mistake, guys. A big mistake. So let me just go ahead and man, I mean, I'm trying, like I'm gonna tell you guys what I really feel. And it's like it's sad because they abused her. You know, they abused the queen's trust. And the fact that Harry would even pick someone like that shows the lack of respect completely, in my opinion. And so screw whatever he said about William and all that's nonsense. William chose the perfect princess, hands down. Like William picked perfectly. It's nothing to do with race, okay, for those ignorant people. Catherine is dang near perfect. Like she's perfect, bruh. And those people who don't like her or want to make fun of how she falls in line, well, that's what a good woman does. Okay? Who's royalty, she should want to fall in line because then why the hell is she there? If she don't want to fall and I'm gonna have to say it, Diana, for those who keep touting up Diana with and Meghan and keep mixing Diana and Meghan in the same sentence, y'all are dead wrong for that. You know why? Because Diana wasn't no better. Okay. Diana was also rebellious. Don't get it twisted. Don't get it. She also had her ways about her. And so, even people, I'm sorry, even people who bring up Diana don't know what they're talking about because Diana had a lot of issues. Okay. So, she also had her things about her. You know, she did. And what I'm saying is, you got to fall in line. If you don't like it, get out. Don't marry them. Okay. But you cannot marry a royal and then you want to change the whole chain of command. It don't work that way. Okay. And women and men in general need to get a clue, you know, stop marrying people and then you want to isolate them from their family, which is what Meghan did, and take them away from their family and their roots and all this stuff. Stop marrying people and then trying to control them. That's not what you do. What you do. Either y'all are compatible and on the same page or you're not. And the fact that Harry has been salivating, literally literally salivating over going to California and talking about his mom every 2 minutes just proves to me that he had no intention on being there for the long haul. So everything now, guys, is coming to light. It really is, you know? And it's like every waking moment that they're actually in the press, they're just proving that point over and over and over to us. It's like they're not serious. They were never serious about actually serving the British people, the Commonwealth. They were never interested. And that is exactly what I discovered in my reading, my very first reading that I did on them. I told you guys they were going to skip events. They were like two frozen people. It was horrible energy. And once again, it was a non-biased reading. And after that fact and that point, I was like, I cannot support this. I will never support this because they're fake, they're phony. And I stand by that 100,000% to this day. They're fake and phony. And Charles or somebody needs to wake the heck up and strip them, and quick. Because guess what? They keep yapping their gums. They're trying to damage a whole like legacy, bro. I mean, it's baffling to me. It's like, who are they? Are these people terrorists? Are these people like working for like the Russian god? Like, who are these people? Who is Harry? You know what I'm saying? Like where did he come from? Because for the longest while, I really didn't believe that he was Charles's son. And I still don't believe that to some degree. I mean, I'm not, I mean, listen, it's hard to believe because he's so unattractive. He's such a pain in the butt that it's like, it's hard to fathom that Diana would have a child this ugly. Like, I don't see it, you know, like guys, I'm sorry, I don't see it. You know, King Charles is not that bad looking. He's not ugly. Like Harry is ugly inside and out. He's not a good person. Like he's not. You know what I'm saying? But Charles and Diana, like they're good looking people. They're good, like they're decent people. So I don't know how you get two decent people, two decent royals, working royals, and you get Harry. It doesn't add up, guys. You know, and sorry, and I'm also going to say this. There was also, and Pierce Morgan said, a lot of people that know Diana and wrote books about Diana's legacy, I'm gonna take it there, I'm gonna take it there, I'm gonna take it there, have said that Diana had multiple affairs as well. And I'm sure that Charles, listen, I'm gonna take it there because I gotta put it into context, right? We gotta put it all out there since they want to talk trash. Let's put it out there. Let's Harry, let's talk about it. Okay, you took it there. All right, I'm gonna give it to you. Want this barbecue? I'm gonna give it to you. To take it farther, they even said that Diana had multiple affairs that have been proven on record. So those of you who keep going back to Diana, she was also listen. I almost said what I want to say. I'm not gonna say it. Diana also had affairs. Get it right. Like, and listen, it could have been a deal. Let's be real. It could have been a deal that Harry and not Harry, for God's sake, that Charles, excuse me, it could have been a deal that Charles and Diana struck up when Camilla was more in the picture, right? Which couples do nowadays, and they call it an open relationship or polygamy, right? Now people have catched on, right? Okay, we're all adults here, right? That nod, 1, 2, 3. Let's get it. It's been well established on record. You know, so Diana was not perfect. People keep going back to Diana like she's like Megan's mother Mary. Bleep Diana and bleep Meghan Markle. Real ish, man. I'm sorry. Like she wasn't perfect, bruh. She wasn't perfect. I'm sorry to burst people's bubble, but Diana is not what you think she was. Like she really wasn't. She wasn't, guys. And I'm sorry, I gotta take it there because Harry has pushed me there. I gotta take it there. I am more convinced that Harry was conceived, if he was even conceived and not come from a dang laboratory. I'm more convinced that Harry was conceived from a infidelity. Yeah, I'm gonna say it. I'm more convinced that Harry came from a that guy with the red hair that plays polo. On the horse. I'm more convinced that Diana had a rendezvous with that redhead, and that's really where Harry came from. That's why he's so bad. Because it don't make no sense to me, guys. And honestly, I try to be nice, but they're gonna try to go for people who are that don't deserve this. And so I gotta take it there. Okay. My humble opinion, because Harry and Meghan have played unfair for so long, it's not fair. You know what I'm saying? And so where's DNA test? I want a DNA test. Someone needs to do a DNA test on Harry and Harry's balls and see where the hell he came from, because he didn't come from Diana. And if he did come from Diana and Charles, well, something's wrong, because William didn't turn out that way. William did not. William don't have no red hair. So whose gene did that come from? Because Charles don't have no red hair either. Can Acquire say amen? Nobody's a redhead. So I'm confused. Like, where did that come from? Diana was blonde. Charles was like, dusty brown, dark brown. So where the red hair come from, guys? I mean, I know there's different genetics on this, but I'm just saying that he's so weird to me. Like, I've never really respected Harry because he moves shisty, like the strip poker. When I saw that he was doing naked strip poker, I didn't think he was a prince material. You know what I'm saying? So birds of a feather flock together. So strip poker Harry and Delulu Meghan Markle, they're two peas in a pod. They're both delusional. So if no one's gonna tell the truth out here, I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna tell, because they want to lie about people and make money off of lies, and then especially in America, sell it to the American public and pull the race card, which is the oldest trick in the book. And while people out here actually suffer from real racism, you have the likes of Meghan Markle trying to convince people that she's on what the heck she is, and we all know what the heck she is. Okay, she's a fraud. She's a fraud, and Harry's a fraud too. Because if you actually love your family, why would you try to write a book about them? And let's get more real here, guys. Not everybody has a perfect picturesque family. We all know that. I'm not saying that's not the truth, because most people have messed up families, or somebody who's messed up in their family. You know what I'm saying? The average, most people would love to have a perfect family, but that's not what happens. So what I'm saying is, under the conditions, why would Harry do that? Why would you try to rat your family out for money and on a stack of lies? That's what makes me so mad. It's like, it's lies. It's lies. And they're proudly trying to drag people in their BS. And that's messed up to me. That's so messed up. So let me just go ahead and take a water break. I'm gonna pull up. Let me see if I can find a video that's not gonna cause any issue with the video. Let me just see if I can pull up the video of who they've named. Let's see if I can find a video here, guys. Give me a second here. Let me see what's going on here. And this guy looking so fake. Let me just go ahead. No, let me not do that video. Let me see. Palace considering all options after King Charles and Kate named an Archie skin color. I still stand by to this day that I really think that is a huge fabrication. I never bought it. I'm never going to buy it. It's garbage. It's complete. Like, it's actually disgusting. Like, especially Catherine. Why would she would never be dumb enough to be in a room with Meghan Markle and talk that way. Like, never. Like, I don't see it. And I even talk to people who are major Meghan fans in my personal, like my family and stuff. And when I told them that the book named Catherine, even they that support Meghan were like, Catherine, that's not Catherine. I said, exactly, it's not Catherine. Okay, if it is anybody, it'd be the chick with the brooch. Remember that the chick with the Duchess of York, with the brooch that Meghan was so offended by. If anybody's gonna say that type of stuff, it's a chick like that, not Kate, and not Charles. Charles has always been around people of color. So I'm sorry, guys, I'm not buying it. Okay. If you buy it, well, sucks for you, because you're getting duped. But people with a brain are not gonna buy that BS. And I'm not one of them. I'm not gonna buy it. I'm sorry. Like, I'm sorry. Like, and then on top of that, here's what, listen, this is such garbage. Like truly. And here's what makes me even more upset is the same people who support Meghan, they go on Twitter, and I've seen it myself, they go on Twitter and they put the picture of the redhead, once again, the red, a black woman, a so-called black woman with a red haired child. Sure, okay. And full red hair, no tan in sight, no tan in sight, no nothing, just white as can be, right? Okay. There, in the same breath, these Meghan people are gonna say, "Oh, this surely can't be the same baby that the family was concerned about," and they actually believe that BS. And the baby is white as hell. So this just proves how dumb y'all are. Like, y'all see the picture of the daughter, and y'all like, she looks white. So how can you guys say that you actually believe that the people they wait even, like, bruh, people are dumb. Like, I'm like, y'all are not connecting upstairs. The lights are on, but nobody's home. Like, in the same breath, in the same exact breath, y'all say, well, she looks white. She don't look like Megan's mama. They're so racist. Ugh. But the child looks, in fact, I'm gonna pull up a picture of the child. How about that? Since y'all want to get me upset today, I'm gonna pull up a picture of the child in a minute. When I got too many tabs open, I want this thing to freeze on us, because you know how these things go. You get too many things running. If you get too many things running, the video freezes, and it has before with other videos I've done. So I got to be careful. So I had to address that. I also had to address is y'all be the same people talking about, oh, the baby looks white. Oh, the baby looks like, who the baby look like? Oh, Harry's copy. Harry's redhead copy, ugly as hell. And then you're gonna say, oh, well, if the baby don't, why would they be concerned about the baby? The baby looks white. So you just kind of prove the point that it's a lie. If you actually hear how dumb you sound, you just prove it's a lie. It's a flat out lie. Like, the child don't even look black. So put two and two together and use your brain. It's a lie. It's a bold-faced lie. And Meghan is too beige, fluorescent beige, as Beyonce said, to even look black. So what are you talking about? Like, come on, guys. Like, use your brain. It's a lie. You don't see it's a lie? Okay, commercial break, y'all. I'm gonna go ahead and pull up a video, and hopefully it's okay with YouTube, because YouTube be strict as hell these days. I'll be trying to, show y'all stuff, and YouTube just be funky. But I had to bring that up. Like, y'all be so delusional. Like, y'all will sit up there and look at pictures of a redheaded white child and say, this can't be the same child that the royal family is concerned about. Oh my God. So put two and two together. It's a lie. Like, like, what more proof do you need? There's not a speck of black on the child. Like, don't piss me off now. Not a speck, it's not even a droplet of black. It's on any of Meghan's kids. And y'all believe this lie. And y'all believe in a lie that could tear down a whole country, a whole tradition of people off of this nonsense. Wow. Like, that is just ignorance. I'm sorry. Like, that is ignorance to the highest degree. Now, let me go ahead and find a video, because this is just pissed me off. Like, it's just pathetic. Like, the fact people can look at the photo of the babies with no even a droplet of tan, and then actually believe that someone would fix their mouth and waste their time to call a child, let alone a monkey, or be concerned about a skin color of a child that hasn't even been born. That makes no sense. Makes no sense, guys. Come on. It makes no sense. And on top of that, any family can ask about what features a child would take off after their parents. If y'all want to believe the lie, okay, I'll take it there. Okay, if y'all say, well, it definitely happened, I know it, I just know it happened. Okay, I'm gonna prove to you how dumb it still sounds, what you're saying. Okay, have we all not in our own families seen two people that look quite different or have cool features and say, how's the child gonna look? If you really want to believe that lie, have you not in your own family asked that question? So stop being ignorant now. Don't be ignorant. Because you want to be Meghan Markle, you want to live with Harry, so you're obsessing over her. You guys are cuckoo. Ask yourself that question. Like on the real, like ask yourself a question. Have you never ever even in your head consider what they look like? Nothing to do with skin color. I'm saying the features. Like you never ask yourself that? You're lying. Okay. Everybody that has that's pregnant, ask what the gender is gonna be, the name gonna be, what the child may want to do when they grow up. Everybody asks those things. So for Meghan or especially Harry to even tell Meghan that BS, they're liars. They're liars. And in fact, the royal family should take them to court, all of them, saddle them up and strip them bare and take their butt to court. The royal family needs to sue them, like straight up. And I know they're not supposed to get involved in that, but they need to sue them. Okay? They need to sue their ass. Now, let me go ahead and find Buckingham Palace. Let me see what this is about before I put this on here, because I'm so, I mean, it's just the fact that they've actually lied to so many millions of people and people actually believe this. Like, it's disgusting, guys. You think, and for those of you who keep telling Diana off of Harry and Meghan's BS, you think Diana would want this? Ask yourself a tough question. Do you think that under these conditions and what's happening in the world, that even Diana would want this to be happening? No. And if you say yes, you're a bloody traitor, and you don't love the United Kingdom, and you don't respect yourself. If you actually believe that, if you actually believe that what Diana worked hard to uphold, she'd want her so-called son to be doing all this, you're crazy. Diana would never approve of this. Diana would not want this either. So don't lie to yourself like that. Those of you who keep throwing Diana around with Harry in your mouth, if you think Diana would ever approve of this, you don't know Diana. You don't know what Diana came from and the stock that she came from. She was also up there in class. So she's not going to turn her back on the royal family. What Charles did to her, what Charles did to her is what Charles did to her. Okay? Diana worked for the royal family until she was gone. She upheld that title. So don't get it twisted. Don't get it twisted. This is Piers Morgan. I want to see what he has to say. 1 second. Let's see. One second, guys. Okay, I'm gonna share the screen, guys. I'm gonna go ahead and share the screen. Okay. I'm gonna watch a little bit of this, and if it goes on too long, I'm gonna cut it short. But yeah, even in Diana's passing, Diana was a princess, right? Because she married into the British royal family. And if anybody that keeps telling Diana thinks that Diana would approve of this nonsense, they don't know the real Diana. They don't really know what she stood for. They don't understand how this all works. Okay. She married a prince. She married the now King of England. If Diana was alive and they were still married, she'd be a queen. Do you not get that? So how could you think that Diana, even in her death, would approve of this? Like these people are just clapping for Meghan and Harry. They're traitors. And in fact, I'm gonna say it right now on record: Harry and Meghan are traitors, especially Harry. He's a traitor to the United Kingdom. He's a traitor to his family. He's a traitor. He's a traitor. And you know what they do with traitors? They exile them. They X them out. They get rid of them. Right? They are no longer allowed to serve, and he shouldn't. So that's it for me. I mean, really. Oh, like, spare me, please. Let me go ahead. Yeah, there we go. There we go. There we go. Let's do a little bit of, let me see what I want to do. There we go. Let's get it.
Wrote private letters to King Charles, naming 2 royals who she accuses of taking part in those supposedly troubling conversations about Archie's skin color. SCOBIE initially said he knew the names but couldn't legally report them. But of course, he could have done outside of the UK.
Okay.
He could have done it in America if he wanted to, where the book is published. He's done it anywhere. But he said he never names names, which is another of his lies. And yet overnight, they were sensationally revealed, suddenly, out of nowhere, in the Dutch version of SCOBIE's book. Journalists had been sent copies, and the book was briefly on sale in bookstores before being suddenly withdrawn in a dash by the publishers. SCOBIE initially said it was a translation error, which didn't really make any sense, because how do you mistranslate names? They're either there or they're not. The publisher now says it wasn't translation, it was simply an error. But how did that error happen? How is there an entire different version appearing in a Dutch edition of this book? The consequence of that error is that millions of people online around the world now know the royals are again being implicated in what I think is a completely baseless claim of inferred racism. There is again massive speculation about who the people are who were supposedly making comments about Archie's skin color, which is incredibly unfair to all the royal family. They've all been tarred with this brush now for years. Well, I'm going to end all this nonsense because, frankly, if a book is on the streets in Holland, available to Dutch people, containing names, the Omid Scobie, the lickspittle scribe for the Duke and Duchess of Sussex, the man who you may remember denied they had any involvement in the last book. And so did Meghan. Do you remember? No, nothing to do with it. But then in court, many months after the book was published, under oath, she had to admit she had emailed her aides briefing notes for when they met Scobie.
Of course.
So she was one of his primary sources on that first book. Now again, we're being told she had nothing to do with this. And maybe she didn't. And maybe we should be believing Omid Scobie when he says he did not ever write these names down in any draft of his book. It just somehow popped up in the Dutch version of the book. How? I've written 10 books, I think it is now. I've never had a version of my book pop up in a foreign edition that contained unbelievably damning allegations about two of the most famous people in the world, and I had nothing to do with it and didn't know how it got there, and nor did anybody else. How does it get there, Omid? Surely you as the author, I mean, you must be furious, right? You must be demanding. Heads roll. And you want names, don't you, ironically, Omid, about who did this to you, who besmirched your reputation as an author? I would, Omid. I'd want to know right now, especially if I was trying to convince the world that I had nothing to do with it myself, and I'd never, ever put these names in writing, and maybe some lawyer had come along and told me not to. I mean, that couldn't possibly have happened because you've given us your word, and as I've established so far in this monologue, your word is your bond and should be taken as sacrosanct. Well, I'm going to cut through all this crap. I'm going to tell you the names of the two senior royals who are named in that Dutch version of the book. Because frankly, if Dutch people wandering into a bookshop can pick it up and see these names, then you, British people here, who actually pay for the British royal family, you're entitled to know too. And then we can have a more open debate about this whole farrago, because I don't believe any racist comments were ever made by any of the royal family. And until there is actual evidence of those comments being made, I will never believe it. But now we can start the process of finding out if they ever got uttered, what the context was, and whether there was any racial intent at all. Like I say, I don't believe there was. The royals who are named in this book are King Charles and Catherine, Princess of Wales. Well, joining me now is the royal editor of the Sunday Times, Roy Dicker, who just discovered I was going to do that, royal biographer Tom Bower, who also just discovered I was going to do that, and the professor of Black Studies at Birmingham University, Kehinde Andrews. But first, the Dutch royal journalist Rick Evers, who has read the damning excerpt because he's seen it in the Dutch version. Let me talk to you, Rick, first of all. When you first saw what appeared in the Dutch version, what did you think?
Well, I wouldn't think I would have some big scoop, because I was thinking that everyone in the whole world would have the same copy, except it would be in English. So I wasn't aware that it was such a big thing.
How do you
Of course, it is a big thing that their names are in it, but
right.
Everyone would have the same copy, isn't it?
Usually? Right. Well, I couldn't work out in my rational head why you should know what those names were, but British people shouldn't. So that's why I've said them. And to repeat, I don't believe a word of these racism claims, never have done. I've seen no evidence to suggest they're true. I think it was an ugly smear. And now at least we can have a public debate about it and people can say what they really want to say about it. But from your perspective, how do you think these paragraphs appeared in the Dutch version if Omid Scobie, the author, insists, as he has done, that he had nothing to do with it, never put these names in writing, never supplied a draft with those names?
How do celebrities like Justin Bieber and The Rock generate hundreds of millions of dollars?
After your track record, Piers, it would be very unimpressed if you didn't mention these names. So well done, because you're the first one, I think, on TV that's doing that.
Well, I don't. To be honest with you, I don't understand why journalists wouldn't. I haven't understood why we haven't so far. Because the moment a book is published and available to people on the streets of another country containing these names, you know, I don't even know if these are the two names of the two people that Meghan Markle originally with Harry claimed made these comments. We don't know. But we do know they've appeared in the book, a version of the book, and it's Omid Scobie's book. And we do know that under oath, Meghan Markle admitted that she conspired in his last book as one of his sources. So let's wait and see how this plays out. But again, just to come back, what do Dutch people in the media think has happened here?
Well, I don't think Dutch people really care about it, but because it's the U.S. royal family in this case that is involved, not even the British royal family actually, because people don't believe it, I think. But on the other hand, how did it end up in the book? I think it is in the way Omid is describing it. It was not in the manuscript. What is the manuscript? Is it the final version that you hand in at your publisher? In that case, it was an earlier version and it got erased in all the other versions all over the world, except for that tiny little country, the Netherlands, that has been overlooked. Maybe someone overlooked the Netherlands to send us a memo, the publisher, or maybe the publisher forgot to do it. I don't know.
Well, it's very mysterious. Let me go to another seasoned author, Tom Bauer. You've written many books. Have you ever known a situation, Tom, where a version of your book has appeared in a foreign version containing paragraphs you knew nothing about that contained bombshell revelations?
It's impossible. And also, more to the point, he also complained that the French translations were wrong too. I mean, the problem with Scobie is everyone is getting it wrong what he wrote. And of course, he can't probably remember what he wrote himself because it's so full of fabrications.
Well, I'm not saying he's lying about having no involvement in this. I'm just saying generally he's a terrible liar.
He's a terrible liar. We know that from his own statement about the briefing from Jason Knauf, which Meghan gave him. We know he's a liar. And I think he's fabricated a lot in his book. And he lied when he said he didn't have Meghan's help in this book. Clearly, he was briefed by Meghan's people from California.
He says they share mutual friends, right? But those friends would not be allowed to cooperate with him without permission.
Exactly. It's exactly before. This is all. His book, again, is Meghan's voice. Why is she decided to launch another war, a battle against the royal family? That's for her to explain. But she hasn't dissociated herself from...
Have you ever thought that there was any racial intent from any comments made?
No. I mean, the whole... This is actually explained in my Meghan book very clearly. It was a very, very early on in Harry's relationship with Meghan. He goes for tea to Clarence's house. He's sitting there with King Charles, Prince Charles then, and Camilla. And they eventually discover who he's dating and all the rest of it. And Camilla, very as a joke, just says, I wonder what your baby will look like. Well, he or she have ginger hair. It's just the normal. And when that originally came out, it had nothing to do with racism, as Harry himself admits. It was all to do with a perennial problem. What will your baby look like if it comes from different parents?
I just thought it was incredibly disingenuous of Harry, after 2 years of feverish racism slurs.
The thing about Harry,
he then said, well, we never meant to infer racism.
No, but the whole point is in the Opera interview that he comes onto the program after Meghan had spoken and says, no, she's wrong. It all happened long before she was pregnant. It happened right at the beginning of our relationship. It was just a normal tea conversation.
Nearly 2 years before.
Exactly. And so Meghan had lied. I mean, there were 17 lies she uttered in the Opera interview. That was one of her lies. And that is the problem. He's now hoist by it. But the real problem is he's caused enormous damage. and
Huge
SCOBIE.
damage.
And SCOBIE, to get some money and all the rest, does it again and again and again. But this time, yet again, is definitely with Meghan's approval.
Okay, Roy, look, you didn't know I was going to do the naming of these two people. I don't want to get you involved in that directly. You're a royal correspondent. But on the wider picture, this book is getting more and more attention. It's now front page news of many papers. It clearly has a lot of damaging revelations. It follows a familiar pattern from his first book. All the main royals are awful. Duke and Duchess of Sussex are angelic, and weren't they treated so badly? How significant is this book? Is it going to actually have any real effect, do you think?
Well, it's interesting you say it's full of damaging revelations and bombshells, because actually from what I have read so far, it's just full of Omid's own highly partisan views and opinions, rather than fact-based, damaging bombshell allegations that I think a lot of people thought were going to be unveiled with real proper evidence behind them. And I have to say, I've been asked about the book a lot this week, and it's just felt quite predictable. And of course, it was always going to get lots of traction because it's Omid, it's the royals. But it just feels, once again, like Finding Freedom, a very one-sided partisan. The rest of the royal family are awful. Harry and Meghan smell of roses. And I think actually the British public and a lot of the wider public are able to sort of decide for themselves which camp they're in, how much they believe, how much they don't. I mean, you've talked about already this week the things that Omid has said about you that aren't true.
Yeah.
He's really not a fan of the Sunday Times coverage I've read, and he had a whinge and a moan about my William interview knocking off Trooping the Colour from the front page. We never put Trooping the Colour on the front page, and so on and so forth. So I think, is it going to be hugely damaging? I think it'll whip up a storm, predictably, you know, to get publicity, and I feel that possibly something around these names could be to do with publicity. But I don't think it's going to have real lasting damage, because I don't think people are going to believe all his opinions.
Right, and they shouldn't, by the way, from my experience. But in terms of, I guess, the family relationships here, particularly Harry and his father, we were reading signs of potential rapprochement. Would they come to Sandringham? I got to say, I think I've got more chance of being at Sandringham than Meghan Markle pulling.
That was my story. They'd like
festive
to.
crackers.
They'd like to.
Yeah, it was your story. Yeah, but none of this is going to help, because there is this belief, which may or may not be true in the case of this book. I don't know, right? But we know in the first book, Meghan Markle said she had nothing to do with it, and then under oath had to admit she did. If it turns out the same has happened here, and she's authorised friends to help him and give him stuff, because let's face it, this exchange of letters between Charles and Meghan Markle, only one of them can have told people about that. And Charles is not the kind of guy that's going to be telling people about a letter like that, which makes me think it's her and her friends, or somebody has gone to SCOBIE. We'll wait and see. But if that is the case, this is going to be very damaging to the ongoing trust issues between Charles and Harry.
Well, trust is the key issue. And I think that was something I touched on in that piece about them saying we wouldn't decline an invitation to spend time with the family. The problem is, as you just rightly said, imagine what a whole Christmas at Sandringham would produce in terms of potential future content. And I think, looking at the phone call between Charles and Harry and Meghan around Charles' 70th birthday, it was briefed before it happened, and it was briefed after. And I think if you can't even have a private phone conversation, it's a brief before or after.
I honestly wouldn't trust, if that was someone in my family, after what they've done, repeatedly, I wouldn't trust them as far as I could throw them.
Trust is the issue, and that's not changing anytime soon.
Let's go to Kahindi Andrews, be waiting patiently here. Kahindi, we've talked a lot about race issues over the years, but specifically here, there is no doubt that when they went on Oprah Winfrey 2 years ago, they made a series of allegations directly inferring racism by senior members of the royal family, which they've never produced evidence for, and which 2 years later, Harry said, oh, we didn't mean racism, we meant unconscious bias and so on. Do you not feel that that is incredibly damaging to people like you who constantly fight battles for racial equality, racial justice, try and fight proper battles about this? Is it not incredibly damaging to that when someone of their profile tries to pretend what they said to Oprah Winfrey was not what it was?
Well, no. I mean, I think the allegations, when they came out, we all kind of believed it. It wasn't something that seems completely outrageous. Also, I'm not sure what evidence you could have. And actually, if you listen to the clips, they're clearly trying not to say the names because they know the names are going to cause this massive storm. I think the bigger problem with the whole way this has been portrayed is Oprah's shocked, everybody's shocked. No black person I know was shocked that this came up in a conversation in the royal family. And the bigger problem here really is that actually it isn't about racist royals. It's about the royal family is racism. It is a symbol of white supremacy. That's the bigger problem.
because
the way
they're
we
white.
talk about this now is completely
Because they're
ludicrous.
white.
No, not because they're white, but not
What-
because they're white, because they are
Where is
almost
the evidence?
exclusively
Where is
white,
the evidence
because
of
they
them
are
being white
the link-
supremacists?
The link back to the link back to colonialism. Why do we even the idea that a country like Britain, which is incredibly diverse, an empire which was more diverse, is led by this almost exclusively white family into the 21st century? I'm sorry, that is
So you're
premier
judging
symbol
them
of
by
white
their
supremacy.
skin
That's
color.
the issue
not-
of racism.
So you're, just to be clear, you're judging them by their skin
No,
color,
no,
not the content of their characters.
No,
That's right.
I'm saying their skin color is not an accident. It is not an accident that Meghan Markle
No, they're
is the first
white.
black person to
They
go
can't
into
help
the
being
family.
white.
It is not an accident that she's run out of the family.
Andy, they're
No, but
white.
that's no,
You're
their
black.
whiteness is the
I'm
point.
white. We
It's
can't
not
help
acci-
our skin color.
People are
It's not-
crazy.
It's not about their skin color. It's about what it represents. The idea that that King Charles is the king of my family's from Jamaica, which is 90% black people, and the king of the head of state of Jamaica is the King Charles. It's ludicrous. That is a ludicrous thing in the 21st century. But that is what I'm saying. Symbol of white
Oh,
supremacy.
that
When are
That's
you going to
what the
have a
problem
vote?
is.
Yeah,
I
I
couldn't
mean,
care
Oh,
less if it was
ludicrous.
Kate.
listen, countries like Jamaica will have votes
It's
and
not-
they can
it's not about
decide.
having a vote. It's about the
No, but
no, it's
the
about the
point is you
history. It's
can.
about why
There
is
are
that. How can you
countries
defend
choosing.
it?
There are countries
can-
like Jamaica choosing whether they want to go independent. That's absolutely a democratic right. You don't have to have our
No, my
monarch as
point
the
is
head of
fact,
state.
the fact that's a choice. The fact that's a choice in the 21st century tells you there's a big problem.
But
And I'm just saying,
do you
the
think
fact that this
anyone
family is
then?
almost
So
exclusively
anyone
white
in the royal
is
family,
not an
Kehinde,
accident.
just to be clear, anyone in the royal family, as far as you're concerned, is a white supremacist simply because they're white and they're part of a
No,
royal family.
What I'm saying is
Yeah.
the royal family, like the police or like universities where I work, they are institutions of white supremacy. It's not about the individuals. It's about what they do. It's about their role in the world. That's the real case. The royal family should be gone. It should be abolished. It shouldn't exist if we're talking about anti-racism. I really couldn't care less which royal said what, because that actually distracts.
What if
from
they
the bigger
didn't say it
issue
at
of
all?
Why on earth we would accept?
What if they
this?
didn't say it at all, but the whole
Well-
world has been led for 2-3 years to believe that they did? What about that scenario?
Like I said, this doesn't like for me. It really doesn't matter whether they said it or not. It's
Do
not
you
the-
think
the
they're all
issue of
racist anyway,
racism is
right?
not about individual people. So it's not they are all racist. They are in an institution which is racism, which is one of these primary symbols of racism.
You know, sometimes,
I think it is a
Kehinde,
bit surprising that Kate. I think
I'm going to say sometimes, you know, when your default position, which it always is, by the way, is that everyone's a white supremacist if they've got white skin color until they can prove otherwise. It is your default
that is
position.
not what I said.
And it is your default position.
Piers, you know it's not what I said.
That's always been your default position.
I said that the institution.
Any
no,
white
my-
people in
my
any position
default
of
position is
authority,
that-
power, anything,
no,
they're all
my
white supremacists.
Default
according to you.
position.
It does beg the question:
My
why,
default position
why
is
do you
that
want to
any
live in a country
institution,
like this if they're
any
all white
institution
supremacists?
like I could go home back to Jamaica.
No,
but
I don't
unfortunately,
No,
the head of
no,
state is the king.
you can
That's
go-
the same problem. I can't even get away from
You
it.
can
No.
go where the hell you like. I'm just saying, why, honestly,
said.
why stay
Why
in
are
a
you
country
there?
you believe
Why
is
are
led
you
in
there?
every pillar of the establishment and society by white supremacists? Makes no sense to me.
No sense at all.
'Cause-
None.
The reality is that that's the world. I didn't choose the world. That is the world that I inhabit. And I will just stress, I'm not saying that all white people are white supremacists. I actually think when we think about racism as individual racist, it's the worst way to think about it. Think about the systems, think about the institutions. And the royal family is exclusively white for a reason. It is the head of the so-called Commonwealth British Empire for a reason. It is a direct connection to the colonial history that this country loves so much.
Mm.
It is the premier symbol of white supremacy.
You
And
know
I
what?
couldn't
It's
care less which
actually
one of those
it's
people
actually
in the
not
house said
exclusively
this-
white.
made these comments.
It's not exclusively white because
That's
the Duchess of
Almost
Sussex.
exclusively. I said
The
almost
Duchess of
exclusively.
Sussex is not
I said
white.
almost exclusively.
What she did do was
Yeah,
she entered the royal
exception
family.
that proves the rule.
She launched a grenade of racism allegations and has ever since stayed silent about
She
those
barely did
and let
anything.
them,
She
and let
came
them,
in-
and let
she
them
came
run
into the
riot
royal
around the
family.
world. I mean, that to me,
She came into
that
the
to
royal
me,
family, and her
that
blackness
to
was
me
so,
is,
so much of an affront
in its
that
way-
everybody lost their minds.
that in a way is a form of racism, actually, in my view, what she's done. But we'll see. We'll see how this all plays out now because
So-
I've decided to
Sorry,
name the
Piers,
two
are you really
people
accusing Meghan
named,
Markle
named
of
in the
racism?
Holland version of his
Yes.
book. Let's see
Yes.
how this plays out. Let's see whether Meghan Markle and Harry were involved with Scobie's book. Let's see what Scobie and
They
his
are.
involvement in this offending paragraph and naming was. Let's just see how this all plays out. And let's give the members of the royal family that they besmirched collectively, let's give them the chance to properly respond, because I don't believe a word of it. Anyway, Kahindi, it's always good to talk to you. Thank you very much.
Oh my God, guys. Absolute bollocks. Oh my God. The guy is full of ish, man. Piers, you're spot on again, buddy. Spot on again. I'm sorry. Like, that guy is full of it. And you know what? I agree. If you think a country is so racist, why the hell are you living there? Same thing for Meghan Markle. If you think that Harry's entire family is racist, why'd you marry in their family? Why'd you become a duchess? Why'd you marry Harry? Like, it's not adding up. And yes, you know, and honestly, once again, spot on. A lot more Black YouTubers and Black people who are aware of the hypocrisy are starting to call out other Black people who are racist. And I have to agree 1000%. This whole narrative that Black people can't be racist is garbage. Black people can absolutely be racist towards other Black people and other cultures and races. Absolutely. And this guy from Jamaica is fronting like that's impossible. It's not impossible. It's not impossible. A Black person anybody can be racist. It's not only exclusive to Caucasian people. What the hell? What the hell? What the hell? Like, these people are crazy, bruh. And then the guy goes on to say that, oh, they're white for a reason. What the, guys, does that not sound racist to you? Well, they're all white for a reason. What the hell are you talking about? It's the British royal family. Were they supposed to be Africans dancing in the Congo? They're white. Like, get off it, bruh. And he sounds racist. Like, I'm a Black person. I'm saying a lot of Black people are racist towards other Black people. I have even had Black people be racist towards me because I'm lighter skinned than them, or because I'm Black European. I've had other Black people say to me, "Oh, you're not Black enough." Hello, that's racist. Or if it's not racist, it's wrong. It's judgmental as hell. Like, come on now. And a lot of Black people are beginning to speak out, and they need to keep speaking out. Like, Black people can absolutely be homophobic and racist like anybody else. You're not like, honestly speaking, more than ever, I'm seeing so many Black people that are outright racist, bruh. Like, honestly, I'm so happy that Piers brought that up, because I have noticed an incline of that. I have noticed a lot of Black people now that are darker skinned are saying that they're the only real Black people that are on the planet, and they say it proudly. And honestly speaking, I'm beginning to have a problem with that, because why is it that only you being this fucking color can be considered Black, but because I'm this shade or whatever, I'm not Black? Like, they're racist, bruh. They're racist. Like, that guy that was talking about, oh, they're on purpose, they're purposely white, sounds ignorant as hell. What do you mean they're purposely white? They're a family. They're a royal family. Royal family. Family royal. What do you not get? They have royal families all over the place. In Asia, Africa, other parts of Europe. And are they purposely Black? Are they purposely Asian? What the hell are you talking about? They're white people. You have a problem with white people? Like, bruh, like, do you have an issue with white people? Like, I wish Piers Morgan would have said to that guy, do you have a problem with me because I'm white? Like, and I'm not saying, listen, people have experienced racism. I get it. Okay. And not just from white people, you know, could be from Arab, could be from Indian, could be from whatever, wherever they're from. It's not just white people that are racist. Like, come on, bruh. But like what that guy just said, he's a poor representation of Black people or Black men, and he's a poor representation of Jamaicans, because I'm actually part Jamaican. My father's Jamaican. I have Jamaican blood in me. So F you, okay? You're ignorant. Ignorant is ignorant does. What do you mean they're purposely white? What are you talking about? They're a white person. First of all, excuse me, a white person has the right to marry another white person as much as a Black person has the right to marry another Black person. You're ignorant, sir. And I wish Piers Morgan would have said to him, do you have a problem because I'm white? Because honestly, y'all have been getting away with it for far too long now. I'm gonna be very honest with you. And I've noticed it. I've noticed that they're, especially the dark skinned ones, they're like the most racist, truth be told. Like, look at Kanye. Look at how he talks about people from the Middle East and certain demographics. I mean, they talk very ignorant. And somebody who's maybe brown or lighter, I don't hear them talk like that. I don't hear Kamala Harris talk like that. You see what I'm saying? But like, you have these guys, a typical look, you know what I'm saying, who don't like themselves, and they're up here talking about, oh, the royal family's purposely white. Are your folks purposely black? You sound ignorant, bruh. Like, you're not educated, for one. You can't be talking like that. I mean, white people, like, so what are you trying to say? That what was he trying to say? That the royal family should purposely marry black people to be more diverse? What are you saying? That's freaking weird. They're white. It's the same comment when they had the whole balcony thing, right? And they were talking about, oh, the balcony's too white, all because Meghan wasn't on there. Like, what the hell's going on? You guys are trying to take over. Like, no, white people can marry other white people. Deal with it. The whole world is going to be mixed up in all this, weird. I mean, my God, it's like if you see a white on white couple, they get attacked these days. I'm gonna tell you the truth. I see it. Okay, sorry, I'm gonna call it out because it's been brought up. I've been seeing it. I have been seeing white people get called out for being white, and that's weird to me. Let them be with white people. If a white person wants to marry a white person, why does that bother a black man so much? I'm not understanding. Do you want to marry Charles? Do you want to marry Camilla? I bet you don't. So why are you bothered? Why are you hot and bothered? It's freaking weird. I mean, guys, it's getting weird, I'm all for, equal treatment and opportunity, but these kind of black people, I'm gonna be honest with you, because I've experienced it myself for being European. A lot of these black people are highly ignorant. Okay. And the Caribbean folk and the European blacks will tell you that. The Africans too. It's the American blacks that tend to get that reputation. But this guy claims he's from Jamaica. Well, he's ignorant. Okay. He's a bad representation, because I'm starting to feel some kind of way about that. Like, why do you have an issue? Like, why do you have an issue with the royal family being white? That's weird to me. Like, what color should they be, bruh? Like no real shit now. Like, should they be marrying a bunch of Indians? Like, should they be marrying a bunch of Asian people and blacks and from the Congo? I mean, what's going on here? Y'all are turning this whole diversity thing into anti-white, anti everything else but black. I'm seeing it. Like, I'm sorry. Listen. I tell the truth, right? I'm seeing it. And I was watching a video of this lady who talks about, dating and modern dating and women, standing up for themselves. And I was listening to her. She's actually in a same-sex relationship. She was in a straight one. I don't know if she's bi. She doesn't identify herself, but she's with a woman now, happily with a woman. And I was listening to her. I'm like, oh, this is an interesting perspective. And even she said it, that black people can also be racist. And I said, wow, people are finally waking up. I said the same thing, because a lot of black people are colorists as well, and they're racist to their own people. I've been if you want to call it racism, by black people as well, sounding too white, or my skin color is too white. Even Beyonce got that recently, because they said because she bleached her hair, she's trying to be white, and it was black people who were attacking her. Okay, the truth is coming out, guys. There are some ignorant black people, and yes, they're racist. Yes, they are. I'm sorry, but they are. And just because I'm black, I'm not going to deny that. And what that guy just said confused me, because what are you trying to say? If they're white and they're royal and they have power and money, why does that bother you? Because other black dominated, brown skin, black dominated spaces and countries also have their own, culture and tradition and royalty. So go over there. If you don't like it over there, and you don't want to blend in, then get your ass out. Like y'all are just being weird at this point. It's like y'all want to push this interracial thing to the maximum. And if it's not interracial, you want it to be all dark skin black, You know, across the land, it's just all dark skinned black. Y'all are sick in the head. I'm being honest with you. Y'all are sick. Y'all are actually sick at this point, and like it needs to stop. You know, like you're saying that the guy said he's mad at the royal family for being white. I mean, I've heard it all at this point. Like you're offended because the royal family's white. You're sick. Like something's wrong with you. Like real talk. Like something's wrong. And I remember the other lady said that the balcony was too white because Meghan either didn't go or was not invited or whatever when she was trashing the family with Harry. Cancel. Oh, it froze. Do another one. Overheated. It's got to load. Right back. Froze. Am I back, y'all? Am I back? Why am I back? What the heck? It froze, guys. I told you it would freeze if I had too many tabs, or I'm almost close to 2 hours. So it's going to be a long stream, guys. And the audio's up. I'm back, guys. I was rewatching what I said. I'm like, bruh. So 1 second, guys. Give me a second here. I'm gonna re-get back in. Give me a second here. Okay, we're back in. Thank y'all for waiting. Love y'all so much. Thank you for respecting that. Sometimes technical difficulties. 1 second. Let me get out of this. Hold on, is this the same screen? Yes. Let's see what it does now. Okay, it's perfectly working. You know what I did? I let the computer get some error because almost 2 hours, 14444 on the dot, 4444. Yeah, let me just pull back up the next video I'm gonna put up here. That's why it froze me, because I was gonna share the screen for the next video, and that's why it froze, guys, because I was gonna share the video. So when you have too many tabs, or just in general, if you're just using stuff, it tends to do that. 1 second, let me see if I can pull it back up. Bruh, but that guy is highly ignorant. I'm sorry. Like, I'm actually kind of sick of people being able to say the stupidest things just because they're a certain color. Like, that's actually not even moral to me. I think it's actually kind of messed up, truth be told. And that guy, I think, was a perfect example, because he is what he thinks he is. He's trying to use it as a platform to spread this ignorance. And it's like, bro, just because you're black doesn't mean you're not ignorant. You know, because you sound pretty ignorant to me, and I'm black as well. So let me go ahead and pull up the next video. FYI, guys, I'm still here. Oh, got it. It's in my playlist. Thank God. That's the reason why, guys, it froze, is because I was about to show you guys the next video, and I guess it was like system overload, which has happened in other live streams I've done that have gone over an hour. Normally, typically when you go over an hour, at some point a technical difficulty will arise. So not surprised. And I really haven't done anything, pretty like overly technical with StreamYard, which is what I use for this stream. So I'm not surprised. It happens. Thank you guys for waiting though. Commercial, skip the commercial. I want to see this video now. I'm going to play this video for you guys. Let's watch this one. This one I definitely want to look into with this commentary and see what they're saying. 1 second, guys. Do I want to restall? No, I don't want to update. Can you not do that? Like, why is everything popping up right now when I'm literally like working? Get a life. Okay. Here we go. Here we go. Yes, let's play this. Let's make sure the audio.
Sussex's cheerleader-in-chief is alleged in his highly spurious new book that the King and Prince William are locked in an increasing struggle as they compete for public approval and battle over securing the future of the monarchy. So, is it the end game for the royal family? Joining me now to discuss this are my royal masterminds, Lady C and Phil Dampier, both of you. Great stuff. Lady C, is SCOBIE just wrong about the future of the monarchy, do you think?
He's wrong about everything. It's ridiculous, He says that the monarchy is not popular, but 66% of the people like it. He says the king is a disaster, but most people think he's done well. He says that Catherine is a disaster because she is very willing to be obliging and do what she's supposed to, and she should be criticized for that. I mean, he's got absolutely everything wrong, but he has a book to sell, he has money to make, and he's ruined himself as a royal correspondent. So he's drinking from the last chance saloon.
Exactly.
Okay, and Phil, I'll bring you in on this now. I mean, what do you make of some of the allegations that we've seen in this book? Apparently, they've had to pull it from the shelves in the Netherlands because there was some kind of accidental misprint that may or may not have revealed the alleged royal racist.
Good evening, Patrick. I think I found the solution. Actually, we should stick Omid in the jungle. Then he'd probably be as famous as Lady C. But talk about endgame. I think endgame is the word, isn't it? He started with the premise that the royal family is finished, and then he's trying to fit the facts around it, and they just aren't there. I mean, it's more popular than ever, the monarchy. It's served us well for 1,000 years. The king's doing well. The Prince and Princess of Wales are more popular than ever, and so I just don't see it. He's barking up the wrong tree. People are fed up with politicians, aren't they? And at the moment, no one's got any good. I mean, we've had 5 prime ministers in God knows how many years. There's no leadership there, so people like to unify around the royals, and that's why I think they're more popular than ever. What fascinates me is the fact that countries like New Zealand and Australia, they say they want to become republics, but they're still putting it off the referendum to do it. So that shows they've even got a future there.
Yeah, absolutely. Lady C, I'll just follow up on that dramatic twist of the royal race row, because a panicked SCOBIE has been forced to deny that he names the royal accused of questioning Archie's skin colour after the Dutch edition of his new book was dramatically pulled off the shelves, blaming a, quote, translation error. The book does reveal, however, that Meghan's claim that not one but two members of the royal household discussed Archie's skin colour while she was pregnant. What do you make, Lady C, of this idea of an alleged leak of the royal racist?
Well, I don't really care about who leaked what. I mean, I've already said who is supposed to have committed the offence, which was no offence whatsoever. I mean, it is, you know, I'm Jamaican and I come from a multiracial, multicultural society, and everybody speaks about what a child is going to look like if it has say a blonde parent and a dark-haired parent, or a brown parent and a white parent, you know, whether you're Italian or indeed if you're Scottish. Somebody's red-haired, somebody's dark-haired. Everybody speaks about the hair, the eyes, the color of the skin. There's nothing racist about it. And what Meghan has tried to do is spin a perfectly ordinary, everyday practice into something racist. And I'm sorry, it doesn't wash.
Okay, Phil, do you believe that Meghan and Harry have had nothing to do with the information in this book?
No, I don't, funny enough. I mean, I think even if they haven't spoken to him recently, this is stuff that he's gleaned over the last few years, and he's definitely been in contact with him. And of course, the trouble is, you can't believe a word he says. He's lied about his age. He's lied about getting on private jets. We know that they were behind some of the information in Finding Freedom. So why should we believe him now?
Yeah, no, indeed. And what do you think, as well, Lady C, about some of these allegations about William's temper?
What about William's temper? William has a temper. I have a temper. Charles has a temper. Anybody who's under a lot of stress and who is genuine and sincere has a temper. I mean, what's the big deal? You know, and you don't think Meghan and Harry don't have tempers? I mean, Meghan is notorious for her temper, and so's Harry. And I mean, nobody's accusing Catherine or William of abusing their staff or of bullying the staff, and we can't say the same about William and about Harry and Meghan, because they have been roundly accused by several people of abusing their staff. So what's the big deal? William has a temper. That's perfectly normal. Don't you have a temper? Everybody has a temper.
Oh, I've got a temper, Lady C. Yes, you don't want to see my temper behind the scenes. There's a litany of deeply scarred producers, all in need of massive therapy, just queuing up out there, I'm afraid. But Phil, do you think there's any truth whatsoever to this idea that William is desperate to get on the throne, and he's trying to nibble away at Charles's heels? Because that's one of the other claims in this book.
He's definitely not getting desperate to get on the phone to Harry, I can tell you that much. No, listen, it's absolute rubbish, that, isn't it? I mean, he's got 3 young children, George, Louis and Charlotte. And, you know, they're not, if he came to the thrones, let's say, just take it to its absolute extreme and say that the king abdicated in 5 years' time, you know, the kids would still be too young to do royal duties. So they're just not ready for it yet. So everything would then be on William and Kate. So I think he's perfectly happy to wait. The king could live another 20 years. So in that time, he's got plenty of time to prepare himself. No way is he pushing to become king sooner than that.
Okay, now, Lady C, I want to just inform our viewers and our listeners that I have a couple of very, very explosive clips from Nigel in the Jungle to play in just a few moments' time. So we'll be revealing those to everybody. There were a lot of rumours about ITV potentially trying to airbrush Nigel out. There are a lot of rumours about them trying to do their best to stitch him up in there. So either cut him out of the TV or show deliberately provocative bits or edit it unfavourably in his direction. Lady C, you were in the Jungle. I mean, do you think that's something that may well be happening?
Well, it certainly happened with me, and so I can't see why it wouldn't happen with Nigel. In fact, the morning that that they finally offered me to leave. I went into the beach.
Okay, I'm gonna share a different video now, guys. I'm gonna share now. This is actually Kate and William right now. A couple hours ago on the same day that this has dropped, 3 hours ago. So I actually, the first time seeing it, I'm gonna be giving my live reaction, watching it with you all live on camera. This could probably be a long stream, like I told you guys it possibly could be, because I have so much to say, and I'm just outraged. I want to see this. I really want to see how they look. So yeah. Not to play music, just in case, you know. That's them today, 3 hours ago, guys. They have so much going on. It's crazy. I mean, honestly, Catherine always has so much on her shoulders, and I'm sure when she agreed to marry William, she didn't know that there'd be a potential sister-in-law that's the damn devil. And honestly, for her having to deal with that and everything that comes with William and the family and everything else, my God, if William and Catherine last, it's a fucking miracle, honestly, because you know, imagine being that sister-in-law, you know, to Harry and the likes of Meghan. I mean, I'd be just pissed. I'd be rightfully pissed because I didn't sign up to be thrown at the bus. You know, every single time my brother-in-law's wife wants to run her mouth, you know, I didn't agree to be thrown at the bus. And that's basically what's happening perpetually to Kate. And I think what's so unsympathetic and ridiculously stupid of Harry is that everybody knows that if Catherine divorced William, that's the end of the royal family, in my opinion. I mean, to at least 60%, because listen, whether people want to believe the fake news about Meghan, about, you know, and what she brings to the table, which is nothing to a real Brit like me, Catherine's an asset, an absolute jewel gem, the brightest gem, really. And in my humble opinion, you know, if she was to divorce William after all she's been through, the royal family, the British royal family, would be definitely down a couple pecking orders. They would not be as popular at all. And I'm going to say that confidently. So people keep saying that, oh, Meghan is more influential with this or whatever. It's manufactured lies, guys. They're in America. You know, a lot of Americans lie. A lot of Americans sue for things that don't even happen. Americans are full of shit. Okay. I live in America. I should know. You know, we have a culture that's full of garbage. Okay. So please, like, even these magazines talking about, oh, Meghan wore this and it sold out. From who? Idiots? Because who would buy what Meghan wears? She looks like an ugly duckling. She looks crazy. Why would I buy anything that Meghan wears? In what universe? You see what I'm saying? And what dimension? Forget universe, what galaxy, for God's sake. So I mean, I think Catherine is impressive, and I really hope that William is making it up to her in the biggest and brightest of ways. Because in my opinion, my humble opinion, if William pulled what Harry and Meghan are pulling, a tell-all this nonsense, you know, Hollywood primetime interview, you know, the British royal family as it is right now would be completely trashed. 60% is nice. I could really say 80% to 100, but I'm going to be nice and say 60%. So God forbid if Catherine ever turned her back on William, ever turned her back on this family, and said anything about what she's been, if she has been going through anything, this would be over, in my opinion. I think they would definitely move to action to put this royal family at a much smaller scale, if any. And that is why I will humbly say that, because I think that Catherine has that much star quality, that much star power, and William is next up. So get real. And that is exactly how I know that Harry and Meghan have no good intentions whatsoever about this British royal family at all, because they know that the pressure that Catherine's under. And yeah, I know a lot of people say that Catherine's athletic and she's this and she's that. She's under stress, guys. She's pencil thin. Okay. I'm not saying she doesn't look healthy, she doesn't look pretty, but she's getting thinner and thinner. Every single time you see Catherine, she gets smaller and smaller and smaller. You know, every single time. And if people think that she's not stressed out or she's not under a beaming spotlight, you're dead wrong. You're completely wrong. You know, Catherine has so many boots to fill. Diana's boots, now freaking Meghan's boots, potentially being a queen's boots in the very near, not too distant future. I mean, she's under a lot of stress, okay? And once again, I'm not saying she's not gorgeous. Of course she's gorgeous. She looks amazing. Like I said, she's perfect picking for William. But to think that Catherine is not going through ish because of this Meghan is insane to me, because almost every turn, Meghan has accused Catherine of making her daughter cry, now being a racist. I mean, it don't stop, guys. And quite frankly, if I was Catherine, like I said, William would be having to kiss my feet. And I know a lot of royal men don't wear a wedding ring. And that's probably like the only thing that about Harry that I kind of admire, is that as being a royal, a lot of royal men don't wear a ring. And hey, if you're married, wear a goddamn ring. So yeah, if I was Catherine and my sister-in-law, or you know, my husband's brother's wife is yapping her gums and talking ish all the time, yeah, William, you're gonna have to kiss my feet, man, and suck my toes and give me shoulder massages and buy me everything I want. You know, diamonds galore. Absolutely. Because it's like, it's always Catherine. You know what I'm saying? Catherine is a target, man. She's a target. And, you know, Meghan was obsessed with her. You know, Meghan even told Oprah that she wanted to be close with her. And then in the same breath, she said how Catherine and William were never warm. They were always cold and professional and all this BS. The chick is a maniac. You know what I'm saying? Why is she even discussing that? They're royals. You know what I'm saying? You think royals just gonna come out and rip jeans and with a cigar and pat you on the back? They're royals, for God's sake. They should have some class about them. They should have something different about them. They're royals. So once again, everything Harry and Meghan said in that Oprah interview was trash. And I stand by that 1,000%. And you know, she's lost a lot of weight, guys. You know, I mean, I'm watching it for the first time now with you all. And I mean, she's under so much pressure. I know she's never going to say it. You know, no one's ever going to admit that Catherine's under a freaking laser beam. No one's ever going to admit that. No one's ever going to admit that. I'll admit it though. Because Diana went through it as imperfect as Diana was. You know, they all the royal ladies go through something. That's well established, right? But to what severity and what capacity and what exactly it is a whole other situation. But Catherine looked tiny. If she was a dress size, she wouldn't even be 0. She'd be negative 0, 0.0.0. She's so tiny, guys. And you know, celebrities and royals alike, they lose a lot of weight when they're under a lot of, you know, people telling them how they look and all this. I mean, they're under a lot of pressure. I'm not saying by who, I'm not saying by what. It's a fact. They're under a lot of pressure. Catherine looks smaller and smaller every year. And I'm quite sick of it, because even when she had a little bit of weight on her in college, when she was shacking up with William or whatever, they were college buddies. Okay, whatever. She looked perfectly fine, you know what I'm saying? And did she feel the need to lose weight? Of course she did. Let's be real. You know, when she was engaged to William, did Catherine feel the need to get pencil thin? Of course she did. Of course she did. Okay, but what Meghan and Harry are talking about is a whole different can of worms that should not be public at all. And if it should be public, it should be facts and not fabricated and not a bunch of baloney. Okay, so yeah, I think that Catherine, I mean, listen, I hope William is doing the right thing by her. And I hope that William is sucking her toes and feeding her grapes and wine and whatever the heck Catherine wants, because that, I'm telling you right now, guys, that royal family is rested on Catherine's joy. And William would be delusional and think otherwise. That royal family right there, that British royal family is rested on Catherine's shoulders. If Catherine drops the ball and divorces William, it's over. Okay, to me, it's over. Now, I'm being generous. I said by 60%. But in all actuality, it could be damn near 100. Because, you know, Diana was cheated on. You know what I'm saying? Meghan with this Harry nonsense. You know, it's getting worse, guys. It's getting worse. you know. And then the most people don't even want Camilla. I didn't want Camilla, you know what I'm saying? I don't think she deserves to be a side chick to being a queen consort, for God's sake. But Charles is obsessed with her, you know what I'm saying? So what choice did she have, you know? To be a king, you gotta have a queen, you know? To be a queen, you don't gotta have a king. Peep that. Okay. So God forbid, I mean, I'm just seeing it now. God forbid Catherine ever left this man. This royal family is toast. And I mean that with everything I mean. So I really hope, sincerely, that William is making sure that Catherine feels secure and safe, because Meghan and Harry are chewing her a new one at every turn. And if I was Catherine, I would hate it. So I'm going to do a flashback of this other video when William said that the family is not racist, right after we finish this video. And we're going to wrap up soon, because you know, I think I've said everything I wanted to say, all the stuff I've been seeing on social media, all my little thoughts about this and that. I said it all, you know, in 2 hours. And I'm happy for it. And if I don't get this monetized, I actually don't even care, because it needs to get out here, guys. A different opinion about the truth needs to be out here. So I'm willing, you know what I'm saying? If YouTube wants to play around, frick it. I don't care. Yellow, none, I don't care. Because honestly, guys, I'm tired of it. At this point, I'm just tired of the hypocrisy. I really am. Now, let's go to this video. I think after this video, we're good as done, quite frankly. We're good as wrapping this video up now.
Sir, have you spoken to your brother since the interview?
No, I haven't spoken yet, but I will do.
And can you just let me know, is the royal family a racist family, sir?
Yeah, we're very much not a racist family.
Well, covering that, our royal correspondent, Rhiannon Mills. Well, he's, I think, the first major royal to comment on camera about what was said by his brother and sister-in-law. What did you make of it?
Yeah, that's right. So the other day, Prince Charles was actually the first royal to be out and about since that interview aired over in America. He was thrown a question about the interview, dodged it, didn't want to talk about it. And I have to say, in the past, I've done similar things, thrown a question to members of the royal family. You don't know whether or not they are going to answer them. But today, I think Prince William, they were very clear questions that were asked by my colleague Insman Rashid. That first question, have you spoken to your brother? I think the answer will surprise a few people. Prince William saying there, no, he hasn't spoken to Prince Harry yet, but he will do. But also that follow-up question, are you a racist family? And I think for Prince William, it seems it was too hard, too toxic not to answer back. And he very clearly said, we are not a racist family. Now, of course, that comes after the Queen issued that statement on Tuesday evening, where she was very much trying to bring this back to being a private family matter. Within that statement, she mentioned the word family on 3 different occasions. I think the words in her statement were very carefully chosen, making sure that she didn't downplay the seriousness of the claims that were being made, pointing particularly to the fact that those issues were raised over potential racism within members of the royal family. But also, I think within the Queen's statement, that phrase that was so telling and I think stands out for most of us, which was recollections may vary. So I think the Queen was saying then that actually they don't entirely agree with everything that Harry and Meghan have had to say. But certainly I've spoken to people within the palace since that statement came out and been told very clearly they are not going to go into any discussions about the statement further. They're not going to go into any further discussions about the interview. They do not want to see this as a tit-for-tat battle between the Sussexes and members of the royal family.
Well, the Queen was still alive. How sad. The Queen had to issue a statement when Harry brought these allegations. And the Queen is now gone, guys. I mean, how disgusting. Even in her last years, this is the utter trash that the Queen had to respond to. That is just awful. That's awful. That's awful. It makes me feel so sad. I found another video with people, I guess, debating. This was from 2 days ago. Whatever piques my interest, I'm going to show until I'm absolutely exhausted and I'm off here. Let me go ahead and share it. This video right here. Oh God, help us. This was from 2 days ago, amidst the book or something. Let's see what they have to say. If it's no good, I'll just click off. If it's interesting, we'll keep watching.
Book we've been talking about Endgame. It's spilling the beans apparently over the royal family, including allegations that Meghan named 2 members of the royal household who she claims took part in conversations about the colour of her unborn child's skin.
So, could the royals be racist? We're joined now by showbiz reporter Stephanie Tekci and anti-racism activist Iman Aitons to debate it. Welcome to you both. You're both very well known to viewers on our programme. Who should we start with first? Stephanie, to you, what do you make about these, we must say, allegations in this book?
Yes, Andrew and Bev, I don't think the royals are racist, because I think, you know, in order to be racist, you need to have specific examples where someone has really attacked the color of someone's skin or made a very defamatory comment about someone's race. And I don't think that's the case here. I think what's happened from back with the Oprah interview, we've had these unnamed royals who've made specific comments about Archie's skin color. To be honest, that's more a kind of thing anyone would be kind of, you know, a bit curious to know what color is the child's skin color. Most cases with children when they're about to be born. So I think until we name who these royals are and what these specific incidents are, we cannot say they are racist.
Iman, just respond to that. Is it okay for a royal to have said, I wonder how dark this baby's skin will be?
No, so good afternoon, or good morning.
Good to see you.
Good morning to you. Thank you for your point. I appreciate that you said that people need to give specific examples in terms of racism. Well, I'll be honest, with all due respect, I think you're actually referring to overt racism where specific examples are needed, right? So our frame of reference in this country is overt racism, obvious, deliberate forms of racial prejudice. And so this is why it's quite easy to lead with the rationale, which is I need to have a very clear cut, amazing, obvious example of racism. So I think what you're actually referring to, Stephanie, is overt racism. I think in this particular context, we're actually talking about 2 things: covert racism and internalized racism. So now covert racism, as you know, you've heard the microaggressions. Stephanie, I've seen you about, you know about the term microaggressions, right? They're flung about all day, every day. And the reason why is because it's a normal thing, right? We just get these kind of subtle behaviors in regards to racial prejudice. So I don't think you need anything obvious and clear cut, because covert racism is very subtle. I think that's what we're referring to. And in terms of internalized racism, it can actually be broken down into 3 points. So firstly, colorism, right? Stephanie, I'm going to talk to you.
I'm sorry, I have to pause because this is just ridiculous. Guess what? Guess what? It didn't happen. Don't care, overt, hidden, not hidden. It didn't happen that way. What Harry and Meghan said, it didn't happen that way at all. It didn't happen. It didn't happen. And if it was the case that there was brushed comments before the child was even born about what it would look like, that's not racism to me, and that's not a big deal. I'm sorry. Like, they look complete opposite, a redhead and a biracial Black woman. I mean, I would have a lot of questions. And if Meghan was to be offended by me saying what your child looks like, that's preposterous. I'm sorry. So the way she's spinning it, the way all these people spin it is like, you're delusional. Yeah, like that didn't even happen. So it don't matter what kind of form, what kind of term you use. It didn't happen the way that they're selling it in a book and putting it on Oprah. It did not happen at all that way at all. So that's just the bottom line for me. It didn't happen that way at all, period. Didn't happen. End of story.
You on a real basis right now, Black woman to Black woman. Tell me if I'm wrong. Honest to God, tell me if I'm wrong. Colorism, which is basically the idea that certain skin tones are more desirable than others. And this is, in terms of context, connected to slavery, connected to colonialism, connected to racism, connected to the house Negro.
Okay, let's be honest. Would it make sense if a child was dark skinned Black and with a redhead? Would that be attractive to her? The chick with the long pink nails and the gray sweater, it looks like from a thrift shop. Would that be attractive to you? I'm being honest now. Does that make any sense to you? Nobody knows what the hell that color that child would be. And it's not, they're making, once again, even if that was the case, you're making a mole into a mountain. Like I don't even know what the child would look like. And now that we have pictures of the daughter, even more so than the son, the daughter is odd. Okay. So everybody makes, I mean, I don't want to say make fun, but everybody chuckles about the fact that the daughter looks just like Harry. Like, it's weird. It is weird, you know? Sorry. So what they keep referring to is something that's within society, that people experience within society, not the royal family. Get it right, bruh. Get it right.
Oh, and the field Negro. So I want you to appreciate this is a very similar dynamic that we're dealing with now in terms of colorism. So the color, in terms of what I'm trying to say, let me just finish, please. I'll keep it quick. In terms of what I'm trying to say, there are Black people in my family. For example, I have many mixed race people in my family, and no one on the Black side spoke about color or skin tone my cousins were going to be. It's only white people that actually did it. And the reason why is because if it's not an issue, you won't talk about it. If it's an issue, you'll talk about it. If you have racial prejudice and if you appreciate that colorism.
False again. False again. She said that if it's an issue, if it's only an issue, would a family question what the unborn child would look like? That is unequivocally false. That's false. That's false. And then she just basically bended back on her own statement, saying that, oh, in her own family, Black people have asked what they're going to look like. So what is she trying to say? What she's saying cancels each other out, bruh. It is perfectly fine to ask what a child looks like or could look like or question it. That's not racist at all. I'm sorry, it's not.
Leads to privilege and white privilege and light skin privilege and pretty privilege and texturism.
Okay, Stephanie, let me, Iman,
Right?
nicely explained. Let me just ask Stephanie to pick up on that point then, that perhaps these royals, unbeknownst perhaps to themselves, as they're culturally conditioned in that environment as well, they were making a...
Well, sorry to burst your bubble, whoever you are with no hair and whatever you got on your face or your nails. Some things are more attractive. If she wanna make it a race thing, okay, I'll make it a race thing alongside with these ladies or whatever for the sake of the topic. I'm sorry, some features are more attractive. Are we gonna lie about that? Nothing to do with skin color. Some features are more attractive, like in men, if they have a certain kind of jawline. The woman, if they have a curvy physique or a small waist, those are attractive features. What is her problem? Once again, turning a mole into a mountain, talking about texture and this. That's colorist. And in her own words, like she just said, other Black people in her own family have made those comments. So how is it racist? How is it racist? How is it wrong when your own Black relatives have said the same exact thing? Which majority of us watching, whether what color you are or not, has done the same thing in the same context. Ask what the child's going to inherit. What eyes, what nose, what ears, what lips, what kind of eye color? Are you actually kidding me? It's a baby. It's a baby. No one knows what a child looks like until it comes out. So this is preposterous. They're making things issues that are not issues because they want to feel superior when they really feel inferior. Yeah, I said it. You feel inferior and you want to feel superior, and so you try to lackadaisical, stretch on upon things that are ignorant, that are just based in being ignorant. Being colorist and colorism is ignorant. And her bringing up about good hair and all that's ignorant. That has nothing to do with their child. Meghan is not fully Black and Harry is not Black. So what she just said is hypocrisy, it's nonsense, and cancels. It doesn't even apply. It doesn't even apply. If Meghan was like 60 shades darker, then possibly I can see what she's saying. But it's like it don't even compute. It just doesn't even make any sense what she's saying. Like it just sounds like you're trying to make something out of nothing, truth be told. Like really, like in my opinion, you're making something that you've heard in public or whatever, or amongst ignorant circles, or what you've experienced, and you're trying to speak for all people. You're trying to speak for the royal family, which you don't even know. That's crazy to me. Like, everybody who's white can just be called racist now because they're white. Like, so every person who's black can just have these stereotypes attach them because they're black. Like, that's how it's coming across to me. What are you trying to say?
Statement that was related to whether that child would be more valuable or less valuable based on the amount of melanin in their skin.
No, I don't think that's the case. I totally understand what you're saying, Iman, in the sense of colorism. That's even an issue that plagues among Black people. That's even within our own family. So I refuse to label that as racism, because that's a mindset that has developed so many years and generations about how light a child's going to be, how dark a child's going to be. In terms of the royals, ignorance has been blitzed. We can't say that the royals haven't gone through a lot of changes over the last few years where they're addressing when it comes to race relations. But my problem is calling people racist very loosely is a problem, because then when we do have real incidents of racism out there, people won't take it seriously when we try to bring it down to these kind of minute situations. It's not fair. It's not fair we don't know who the royals are and questions, and it's not fair to be branding racism when we need to really define what is a racist. We can't be just using that terminology.
Stephanie, you're being very emotional right now, with all due respect. With all due respect, you are. You are. You're not presenting it really well. I'm going to break it down to you if you don't mind. I've heard you. I've genuinely heard you, and I do apologise. I did interrupt you several times. And you are polite to me. I shouldn't have interrupted.
Go on, Iman. Pick up on that point.
I just wanted to interject. Let me just say something real quick, Bev. You've spoken about it in terms of generalizing. We keep using this frame of reference in terms of racism, and you keep kind of leading with this thought that racism is overt, obvious, deliberate, direct forms of racial prejudice. That is not racism in this country, Stephanie. That is not the prevalent form of racism in this country. I can give you facts. I know we haven't got time, so I'll just keep it brief. You need to open your mind. With all due respect, open your mind. It's not about obvious forms of racial prejudice. Is now about subtle forms of racial prejudice, and Black people internalize that racial prejudice, and they now start talking about, I wonder what color my child is. So that if she's light skinned, if she has long flowing hair, you're wearing a weave, Stephanie. With all due respect, you are wearing a weave. There was something in your mind that said, I'm going to put on white people's hair right now. I've been there. You saw me with my blonde wig during Black Lives Matter. I've been there. And what I want to ask you,
Iman, let's just bring Stephanie in. Just 1 second. This only works. You both have valid opinions. You both have valid opinions. This only works if we hear them. My issue, Stephanie, when I'm hearing Iman talk about subtle microaggressions and a sort of subconscious racism, you can never defend yourself against allegations of racism if it's coming from a place of being accused of being, because whether something is a microaggression or whether it's subconscious is entirely subjective, and therefore you cannot defend yourself against it. Stephanie, go on.
Well, this is what my problem is, because my problem is that I'm talking about overt racism. Overt racism is when I can have facts. How can you judge someone about internal racism? What is your facts on someone's thoughts or feelings? Then we can all be accused of racism, not just white people, Black people too. We need to have real evidence before we're going to start branding people racist. It's not fair. I'm a Black woman, trust me, I've been through racism experiences, but if I'm going to call someone a racist, I better have the facts. I better have facts of what they've said to me and when. If someone has some discrimination against me...
Go on, Iman. Go on, Iman. Just respond to that.
Yeah, no, I get you. Sorry, I'm coming out of frame. I do apologize. Stephanie, you're getting me all excited right now. No, I fully agree with you. So I appreciate everything you just said is accurate. I'm not going to negate what you just said. Spot on. I'm there with you, sis. I know Andrew feels me and I know Bev feels me. You need to have facts, right? We had this conversation. If you're going to say something, let's not live in the world of delusions and entitlement and fabrications and all of these things that are ultimately leading to extreme wokeism. Let's not lead with that. I agree with you. You need evidence. But this is what I I also want to say in terms of nuanced life, right? We know that everything isn't black and white, isn't left or it isn't right. There's so many kind of grey areas, and this is what we need to take into consideration when we're talking about racism. So if we're going to talk about covert racism, I agree with you. You need evidence, but you also need to take in consideration that covert racism is the reason why it's so prevalent within our society, because it's subtle and you don't need evidence. So therefore you can get away with it, perpetuate it within your organization, perpetuate it within your institution, and no one can check you. Why, Stephanie? Because of what you just said. You need clean cut evidence. You don't. Not when it comes to covert racism. And this is why we transit from 1998, the Human Rights Act.
Imam, we're going to go back to
Thanks,
Stephanie.
Iman. Go on, Stephanie.
At the end of the day, we are all human, and we can all be guilty of having some forms of discrimination or racial thoughts. We're now in this generation where we can speak about these things openly, but at the moment, you have to understand, especially with the royals, which this debate is about, some of them come from a very old school mindset, where now, when we're moving to this new modern monarchy, they have to be addressed on these issues. But calling them racist, I think that's a bit too far. I think they do need to address their attitudes and their mindsets to people of color, as we've seen in the past. But to them rebranding them racism, I just think it's a bit too harsh. And I think the stuff that you're complaining about, Black people can be equally criticised for such issues.
Go on, Iman. Last word to you.
I agree. You have to add context. Sorry, I know we've running out of time, and you've gotten used to me. I can talk for days. Stephanie, you have to add the context. 270 years of every king and queen within this country advocating for the enslavement of Africans and colonization of these Africans. We're talking about from Elizabeth I to James IV. This is a fact. 270 years of advocating for subjugating, oppressing Black people in Africa. And we're not even talking about neocolonialism, right? We're not even talking about what's going on right now. We're just talking about 400 years ago. So you cannot talk about these things without adding context. If you're going to talk about racism within the royal family, you need to think about context. You need to think about colorism. You need to think about texturism, hair. You need to think about assimilation, the amount that's or the degree in which Black people are willing to assimilate. And this is why we have a frame of reference that we do in terms of overt versus covert. And we also need to take into consideration, if we're going to talk about racism in this country, you have overt racism, which is obvious, deliberate and direct, and you have covert racism, which is subtle and
much harder to prove. And much harder to prove. Iman Ayton, Stephanie Tetchy, great debate. Thank you so much, ladies.
My God, would she ever be quiet? Nonsense. Once again, my God. The lady on the right kept literally invalidating everything she was saying. One moment she agrees, next moment she's yelling on mic. The lady on the left was completely rational, not emotional, and was completely on spot on, like spot on. It is dangerous. I repeat, it is dangerous to label any stereotype or any title based upon ancestors, based upon stereotypes, based upon cultural features, based upon color. It is dangerous, end of, to be blanket statement towards certain groups of people, okay, or the royal family, whoever. It's wrong. It's wrong. It's dangerous. And yeah, you have to have facts. You can't just put it in a book and sell it and go on primetime TV and state it as a fact when it's not a fact. You shouldn't be allowed to do that. You shouldn't be allowed to do that. Like, take it to court. That's why I keep saying the king, the new king, which is Charles, who's in charge, who is Harry's father, needs to step up. I'm not saying toss them in the bandwagon. What I'm saying is someone in authority alongside the royal legal courts, the royal courts, and all the journalism and all the people involved need to sue. Like, in my opinion, they need to sue. They need to investigate. They need to do a thorough investigation because all these things and all these people that worked for Harry, especially Meghan, sadly, it keep coming from Meghan's side. That guy who, with all this makeup, this guy wearing makeup and Botox and all this weird stuff, he has a big mouth. You know what I'm saying? He has a big mouth. He wants to be a woman. He has a big mouth. And on top of that, he used to work for Meghan. So, of course, they gave him information. He can't write a book by himself. He's just a worker. He was hired by them. So, I mean, I'm fair. Like, what I feel like I'm saying is very fair, Like, if Meghan and Harry hired him, someone had to tell him that kind of information, because someone who's an assistant or in PR or whatever, or branding or marketing, should not have that kind of information, should not be privy to gossip. Like, that's just gossip. It's hot gossip. It's not only hot gossip, it's hot garbage. And that guy got it directly from the horse's mouth, which is Meghan and Harry. End of story. He can't write a whole book based off of he say, she say. And if he does, he should get sued. Like, period, guys. This is just the law. Like, if you come out and spread a bunch of lies about a person or a family, an organization, an institution, a monarch, a family, a unit, you should get sued. Yes, you should. Wasn't it just recently how Will Smith's old best friend went to Tasha K, went on Tasha K, Unwind with Tasha K, which I never watched her show because she has a lot of people coming for her. Rightfully so. Didn't Will Smith's alleged ex best friend go on Tasha K, Unwind with Tasha K or something like that? I don't know what her show's called, but just Tasha K, and say how he was he engaged in a gay act, of intimacy, and was caught with a man, and basically called him gay, and he's a married man with how many kids? I mean, that he should sue. You can't just be going around saying lies or not lies that are salacious in nature, that are gossipy in nature, that is gossip, that is slander. It's slanderous, guys. It's slander. It is slander. And when you're talking about an even higher role in society as the royal family, that is dangerous. It is. It's dangerous not only for the citizens of the country, which I am a born citizen of. So F you, Meghan and Harry. It's the security and the safety of the citizens and the Commonwealth and the country and the nation in which they live. And you're putting the British citizens in danger. Yes, you are, because then it becomes a mockery, a mockery of a symbol of a nation, of a Commonwealth, right? Which Queen Elizabeth, no matter what you think about the past, no matter how you slice it and dice it, most people will say that Queen Elizabeth was like the best queen ever. We're not talking about colonialism and all that. Every damn near every country has been taken over by somebody at some point. So please spare me. Okay, not that it's right, but it's a dark, dirty part of history. Okay, and no one's denying that. Like, nobody at all. Like Charles. I think Charles recently just spoke in front of I think it was Jamaica or something like that, and had a whole damn speech about people that colonized them. For God's sake. I mean, even when Catherine and William went to Jamaica, there was all this ruffling. So spare me. They're literally acting like the royal family has never addressed colonialism. That chick is ignorant. Like the chick is trying to find things that are so ancient. Like, when are you ever going to acknowledge that it's been brought up, it's been addressed, and if it's not enough for you, then tough luck. I don't know what to tell you. Like, history is dark, bruh. History is bad. Some bad things have happened on this planet. But I mean, at what point are you gonna just like realize it? You know what I'm saying? And like, it's a part of a lot of countries. You know what I'm saying? Not just England. Like, it's a part of almost every country with their own people and other people from other countries that they enslaved. No one's denying that at all. So I just, when that gets brought up, I'm like, bruh, like, you're going so far back, and for what? Like, it's been acknowledged. Like, it has been acknowledged. Now there is treaty talks, and there is, debates amongst, especially, let's say, for example, because Jamaican guy came on here earlier with Pierce that I showed you on the clip. Okay, let's just take Jamaica, for example. There is Jamaicans that live in Jamaica, and as well as abroad, America, Europe, around the world, who don't want to be a part of the Commonwealth. And that's fucking fine. Okay, but there is a process. And so if you don't want to have England or the United Kingdom or British people, the British representatives, the English representatives, even more so, which is William, Catherine, the whole family, then you have to go through a process. And you can't bitch about it. It's just a fact. Like, you did benefit. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying from the enslavement. I'm saying the influence. You are benefiting. Whether you realize it or not, like a lot of the cultural things that are in Jamaica that are also in other parts of the world, you are benefiting. And I'm not trying to sound like, you know, like I went to college, you know, I love world history. I love US history. My minor, one of my minors is political science, American political science and international politics. You're talking to somebody who knows history. And I'm telling you that in the modern day age, there is some countries that have benefited from having their name attached to a more powerful nation. Like Jamaica, in my opinion, does benefit from being tied to England and the British public. I do. Because guess what? I have a lot of relatives that run in my veins and my blood that are British and Jamaican. So once again, that lady with the fake, with the listen, try not to be mean. F you, okay? I'm British and I'm Jamaican. I'm a born Brit and I have Jamaican in my blood proudly. I'm proudly Jamaican. I'm proudly British. F you, okay? We are one, bruh. Our flag is the same. Look at the Jamaican flag. Do I have to pull it up for everybody? Like the Jamaican flag is the British flag in different colors, bruh. Like we benefit. And if you say that you don't want to be a part of that, what that represents, well, tough luck. But guess what? I think we're better with it. That's my opinion. Suck it. Okay. My father's Jamaican. My mother's British. My grandmother's Welsh. I am bred British. I am British. Do not ever insult my country. Don't do it. Especially if you're some person who just came over. You're not even, you don't got no roots. I got roots to England. I got roots to England. Not just England. I have ancestors who are Welsh and English, British, from all Scottish. I have that all in my blood proudly. Proudly, honey. So if you want to go back in the past and talk about crap, go right ahead. Go right ahead. But guess what? Guess what? I would prefer Jamaica to be tied to the United Kingdom forever. And take that to the bank. Okay. Write it down and take it to the bank. Because my family, we proudly have Jamaican and we proudly have British. End of story. End of story. And we are one, bruh. We are one. And if you cannot see that, then you're delusional. Because a lot of people, even white Jamaicans, have British ancestry. So how are you going to erase that? Answer my question. If that lady, if I could ask her, how are you going to erase what is in your blood? What's in the blood of the flag? How are you going to erase that? No colonization or colonialism, whatever the hell she's talking about, is going to erase reality. It's not going to erase reality. It's not. You're taking the opinion of people who are upset about something that happened globally. They act like it only happened in Jamaica. It happened everywhere with different groups of people. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is just what it was, bruh. Not that it's right, but it happened. It happened. But what I'm telling you, with all these wars going on, you are safer being joined with the UK. End of story, bro. And if Jamaica and people that are Jamaican want to say F the UK and we're going to sign this and do this, be my guest, but you're not going to be as popular. Trust me, you're not. Because we even have hospitals and Bahamians, which I also have Bahamian in my family as well. Not direct line, but I have Bahamian, which is Bahamas, which is also British, okay? Influenced. Yes, it is, proudly. They also have hospitals and schools named after the British royal family. Like, I'll take it there because I know what I'm talking about. I'm actually educated, unlike those people they had in the panel with all these different videos. And God help them for being that patient with these ignorant people. But they actually have hospitals, schools, malls, you name it. That St. Mary's Hospital, Queen Elizabeth this and it's beautiful. What's wrong with it? I don't see a problem with it. I'm being honest. Like, what's wrong with that? You don't like the name Elizabeth or Mary? It's a nice name. It's a beautiful name, actually. So I don't know, but some people just want to just poo-poo the whole you know, they want to poo-poo everything because they're negative. Like they're genuinely negative people, and they want to stay ignorant, they want to stay mad, they want to stay bitter. That's on them. But you know what? A lot of Black Americans, a lot of Black people in general have moved on. Okay, we've moved on. And we know what it is. It's in the history book, you know, it's in the books, it's in your face. We know what racism is, okay? But when you try to blanket statement a whole monarch, you're crazy, you're out of your mind, because it's just simply not true. What about Prince Andrew's kids? All the hot water he's been in. What about Prince Andrew's kids? What about Princess Catherine, aka Kate Middleton, and the Middleton family? Are the Middletons racist too? I mean, you can't do that. Okay, you just simply can't. It's not right. It's not right to be lying about infidelity. It's not, which Meghan did to the press about William and Rose, which is BS. You cannot be saying things that are not factual and then say it as factual. It's not factual. It's not factual. And that's what pisses me off. It's not factual. It's salacious gossip for money. Anybody with 2 brain cells can see that. I don't know. Like, how can you not see it? They're broke, you know? And weirdly enough, I'm seeing a pattern. I'm gonna put this all in this video, maybe a 3-hour plus video. Hello, that's fine with me. I'll put it out here. Tyler Perry, the man in drag, who I've seen live and play, by the way, who was yapping his gums for Meghan. Now he's dead quiet, just like the rest of them, just like Oprah and the rest of them, right? That were picking on the Meghan apple tree, right? With her little chickens in the backyard, looking like a damn fool. I happened to watch a video with Whitney Houston yesterday night from the Thriller Michael Jackson trailer with Showtime, whatever, coming up on December 2nd. And it led me kind of like in a rabbit hole to Whitney Houston, because she came up after in an advert. You know, of course, how they do it. Because Whitney and Michael Jackson Whitney Houston, I'm saying, and Michael Jackson were quite close. And then I saw a video once again with Oprah talking to none other than who? Tyler Perry. And Tyler Perry claimed that he tried to save Whitney Houston's life. So this guy that dresses in drag has a pattern with trying to save these certain characters in Hollywood. And I'm like, this guy's everywhere. But yet she still died in a bathtub. So what did he really do as a friend? I'm confused, you know? Like the truth, you know. But I was like, wow, this Tyler Perry fella is seen to be in a lot of Hollywood business, you know, and he needs to figure out what he likes and, you know, who he really is, because, you know, the streets think that you're gay, you know, and that you wear drag, and that you're not really what you think you are, you know what I'm saying? Just saying. So when I saw that he was also in Whitney Houston's business, I said, this guy is weird. This guy is always in people's business. Like, does he not have a life? Or, you know, whatever, like in Hollywood. And he's not even like Hollywood like that. He's more Atlanta than anything, you know. He's more known for being in Atlanta than anything else. So I was like, this guy is like a picker-upper, you know what I'm saying? And he's weird. It's weird. Like, these are grown adults. These are adults, you know. If they want your help, they'll ask you. But you just offering help and then you want to retract it and you want to backpedal is weird to me. It's weird to me. It's weird. Like, I'm so happy that I'm making this video, because everything that I've witnessed and I've seen and I've been hush-hush about, because I really didn't care that much. But now this is resurfaced. Oh yeah, I'm gonna speak on it now. Oh yeah, I'm finna go all in. You betcha. You bet your bottom dollar. I sure am. And before I play this other video, I'll say this. If Prince Charles, no, not Prince Charles, excuse me, if King Charles, excuse me, don't want to, if King Charles don't want to, you know, bring the goblet down on Harry and Meghan, when William and Catherine become king and queen, they need to do that. Because this freak show got to end at some point. You know what I'm saying? It got to end at some point. Here we go, guys. Let's play this.
I'm not comfortable sharing that. Okay.
He can't tell you because it's fake, Oprah. He can't tell you because it's fake. They didn't even answer these are direct questions that Oprah is asking them, and they're dodging them like bullets. All these questions Oprah is asking are basic questions. And this is what we're supposed to believe over everything else. You got to be kidding me.
Passion for that.
Hold up.
There's
Stop
several
right now.
there's several conversations.
There's a
about
conversation with you.
Give me that money. They broke.
About
the money.
how dark your baby is going to be.
potentially, and what that would mean or look like.
This is
That
crazy.
conversation I am never going to share.
Laughing, it's
But
fake.
at the time,
It's fake.
At the time, it was awkward. I was a bit shocked.
Can you tell us
Fuck
what the
my
question
ass.
was?
No,
Can't recall a
I'm not
question.
comfortable sharing that.
Okay.
I can't recall anything.
He's gonna have a daughter.
And honestly, guys, that's it for this video. I have covered all bases. I have reviewed several artifacts and evidence over the years based upon this book, what was said, Oprah, this, that. I mean, I've covered all bases. Clearly, 3 hours, I've covered all the bases. So thank you all for watching. Subscribe, thumbs up, support how you see fit. Links in the box below. I'm out. Bye.